Hi everyone. Sorry about that. Um, some issues happened. A lot of issues happened. I'll tell the players to start in just a second. Thank you everyone for your patience and your time. Yeah, there were indeed some issues, indeed some delays. I think. Um, so you may notice that things are not actually perfect yet. Notably, the AI board isn't actually working yet. So that is something that I think just well, we'll have to deal with for this moment. I will try to fix it for the next game. So you can see the AI board and the top AI move in the lower right corner, but you can't see the score. So yeah, we'll be going with that. And the reason why it doesn't work is really funny in a really like annoying way. But there we are. I think you can still see the AI board. I can see the AI board, and I hope we can nevertheless enjoy the games. Um, can people hear me well? I'd love a confirmation of that. I can see you guys in chat. And yeah, the players have started. So amazing. Yes, you guys can hear me. Thank you so much. I will fix the Artem's time in a second. So as you can see, the players start with 5 minutes and 8 seconds per move, if I recall correctly. Those are the time settings. And it gets heated up as time progresses, gets worse and worse. And that's the model. Every bit gets a bit faster. And the first game is relatively chill. It's more like a rapid game, and then it gets like faster and faster. The players' cameras are nice. I'm glad you're enjoying them. So Artem is... Pause, what's wrong? Yeah, Artem is currently unresponsive. Okay. Yes, okay, so we are actually rolling. No, Artem is back. I actually think Artem didn't realize that we were starting, I suspect. But now we are actually rolling. And yeah, so mental Suji, well, I don't know. So I have something funny to share about Luka. So Lukas Neirynck is on the top left. He's black. So we used to live together in the same country in Belgium, and then he moved. But we used to play a lot, and we played a lot of Blitz, and he loves it so much. He's like a big Blitz and Rapid fan, and I would say that his enthusiasm surpasses his level, but his level isn't bad either. And he loves Blitz chess as well. So I hope that he has fun with it. Um, yeah, Artem, I know less about his Blitz. Yeah, even one of our viewers beat Luka at Blitz, apparently. Artem, I know less about with Blitz. I mean, of course, an incredibly accomplished player, like in slow time settings. Maybe probably like the strongest or second strongest player in Europe for most of his time as a professional player. And yeah, I just don't know how that translates to real Blitz. I wasn't aware Artem does Blitz because he doesn't. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Artem playing any Blitz. So let's see. I mean, so far, very boring. We are mostly quite chilling. I'm not that used to 3-3 from Artem. Maybe I think it's something he used to do a lot more of before because he used to be a very territorial player. Someone in the chat, not in the Twitch chat, but somewhere else, asked about R8, if it's a Joseki, and the answer is kind of yes. You would usually see it a bit later in the game, but R8 definitely gets played. And Yeah, so this is like the common follow-up where the stone over here is going to die, the black stone, but you get some nice center moves. The white shape is a little bit compromised. Like white probably should, white doesn't strictly have to find something to do, but like in the sense that suppose that white does nothing. Yeah, suppose white had just chilled. There isn't anything strictly imminent. Oh wait, what am I doing? Of course, white just dies. It loses liberties. So yes, white has to defend. And so the idea is white kind of like makes a base on the side. Black will consider if it's worth his time to defend at R13. Tenuki is also possible, but okay, black decides to defend. Lukas is a very solid player. He likes to very much like stick to something that works for him, especially earlier in the game, and then fight later. So this isn't surprising too much, but I would have considered Tenuki. Like you could say the right side isn't so big anymore. Nothing wrong with what he did. Yeah, Artem's lighting is kind of epic. I agree. My call, first two games boring Yosei games, and then the big mess will start. That's very possible. I mean, Luka is the type of player that's very good at like long, tedious Yosei games. Like this is definitely his thing. Uh, every time I beat Luka, it's because I managed to make it a fight. And every time that I don't beat Luka, it's because uh, we get into like a long end game and he just beats me. So, and Artem also likes that type of game for sure. The Artem torture chamber is a real thing. Yeah. Somebody asked about the AI eval on the right. Um, so one day I will tell the anecdote of why I can't get the AI eval to work. It is like nuts why it doesn't work. It's very funny. I'm pretty sure it will work for the next like for the next game. But yeah, that's how freakish it is. Like it's a very, very specific bug why the AI eval doesn't work. You can see the top AI move on the lower right. You cannot see the AI eval because I have not managed to get it running. But I can tell you what's going on. So far black is plus 2.5. So I can keep you guys updated once in a while with what the AI score is. I think black's slightly pulled ahead with the sequence on the right side, which I mean in human terms is completely fine, but you know. You know, in these types of positions, one thing I really like to wonder about is just what are the endgame implications of this thing on the lower right? So in practice, this will never matter unless it's a half-point game, like, well, or maybe like a 1 or 2 point game. This kind of like aji of, oh, when black plays here, like how many points is it worth and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter, but I spend way too much time thinking about it. It really like captures my brain if I'm not looking. Like I have to control it during tournament games. And it feels like the type of thing these players might also enjoy, especially Luka. Even their physical position is boring. Yeah, yeah. These players are very solid. Please bring back Valerii and Ali. Yeah, I hope that the fast time settings will like elicit panic from these two players. They're usually very boring is the wrong word because their go is very interesting, but it's like very measured. It's definitely like some time pressure will like elicit worse play from them, but they're usually very, very stable. Jesus Christ. What? I'm not even going to read that out. You guys know which message I'm talking about. Okay, so the game is still basically even, black +1. I intuitively quite enjoyed this fight for black. So why do I enjoy it? Because these two stones, they're like chilling in an area where black is very strong. And of course, white's group is not in huge trouble or anything, but I'm enjoying this position as black. It's like easier to play. in some sense because white has a weak group where, black enjoys white having a weak group. But of course, Artem will handle it quite professionally, I think. So professionally that white takes the time to greed for the points before going back to like defending the group. Yeah, top left looks funny. Yeah, the way that it happened was basically, this actually feels like a very Lukas thing to do, where AI did mention, I noticed that, just living with the stones is completely fine and normal, but black chose not to create a weak group and just let it go. So that's how we got there. And that makes sense because Lukas doesn't like having weak groups. So he might as well just let them go and not care about them very much. Someone mentioned E17 is open. Yeah, that's definitely why Artem played the kick. Um, that it makes sense. And this type of jump is like a very flexible idea. Like maybe you've seen this in some Joseki books, like, oh, kick, go up. But when black has extra stones, it's very normal for the jump to come through. And white can play like this, and this is a ko, but it's a ko that's also expensive for white. So let's say that white like loses it, it's like a big explosion. So it's not always clear if white can do this. Sometimes white does it, sometimes white doesn't. And for now, white doesn't. And now we're going to see how white handles the weak group. White might do it in a really boring way, actually, like something really, really boring, like this or something. Technically, will live. I don't think Artem will do it, but it is a way of handling these types of stones. And in the game, white jumps, black hanes, and yeah. Both players at 3 minutes. The game is still even, by the way. I am the surrogate AI eval bar. You can see the best AI moves on the lower right, but you can't see the score. And I think the reason, by the way, that black kicked here, not kicked, haned, is that if he plays this one immediately, later maybe white could eventually go for this cut in some situations. I don't think it's good. I don't think black needed to hane, but I think he just thought, I don't want to think about it. It's a headache. And in the meanwhile, I think that we're approaching the stage of the game where as either player, I'm really greeding to play like A, but I also know that the responsible thing to do is to keep these groups alive. So you kind of ask the question of like, when are the top side groups safe enough, like A and like B and C, these two groups, when are they safe enough that I can justify greeding for points on the lower side and just playing G3, which feels like the last big move. And to be honest, I would be doing it right now as white. I would be playing like H3 or something. I think this is good enough to just justify chilling. Surrogate AI eval bar shall be my new nickname for vibe coders. I like that. I appreciate it. I have an intuitive disdain for vibe coding. I don't know why. It's nice having the player cams. I'm glad you like them. And okay, so now we're probing. So remember how earlier I mentioned that I would be caring a lot about the endgame implications of this type of thing on the lower right? Well, the players care about it too. So black asks the question, white answers with S7. I wonder what that means. I don't think it means anything. I think this is completely fine for both. It kind of looks something like this, where white can't connect. So there's some extra endgame there. But of course, the reason why white answers with S7 is that now that gives him S5. So that's kind of the idea. Will white's baguette top group even survive? Yeah. White's baguette on the top is fine. Like, just first of all, it has a lot of places to run, so it could go like, uh, it could go like here. It could go like here. Like, it could make some ice space in the center. Black, by the way, has Tanuki and played G3. This isn't me fantasizing about taking the points anymore. Luka also was agreeing that it's about time to take the points. So White's group could definitely make eyes in the center if it wanted to. It could also absolutely play something like this. This is a classic way to make points. Well, not really points, more like eye shape. And you can see this group is just making eyes everywhere. It's completely alive. And that's why I actually quite like that the players tenuki to the other side. I do notice that the AI wants to try some peeps, but I think that these are more like probing moves as opposed to I'm going to kill you, or even I have a plan in the short term to attack these groups reasonably. I think it's much closer to like, oh, I ask which side you will answer on, because why not? So I do think that the lower side is just a nice place to be right now. To be clear, I think that if Black played M13 or something, I wouldn't be offended. That's probably a reasonable move to play, and it might worry White enough that White answers. But in the game, both players are uh, just ignoring it for now because there's no like obvious way to attack either one of these groups. Hello, Jumping Point. Welcome. And I guess I would be looking for E2 as Black because it messes with the White shape a little bit. Like you're almost thinking of cutting here. Like it doesn't quite work, but it's still nice. Like something along these lines would be amazing because you take all of White's base. So let's go back. We still have Black thinking of a move to play. Both are excellent with time management so far. I'm honestly not sure. I think they're taking a bit longer than they should, with the understanding that it's hard to play fast. But ideally, you shouldn't be taking nearly 4/5 of your time to play one space jumps. It is true that neither one of them is at a huge disadvantage. Someone in the OGS chat, which I'm looking at, mentions that the shapes are very basic looking in a like nice way as a compliment. And I agree. I think that both of these players are very good at playing like honest Go, in the sense that they just play nice shapes, they play solid moves, and it's Go that is kind of not accessible to weaker players, but rather like instructive for weaker players. Siko mentions that I'm starting to feel uneasy about White having 3 sussy groups. Yeah, so I guess you're mentioning this one, and this one. I sort of agree. But overall, I think it's not that much of a concern. I think, like, if I were White and Black played E2, I would be annoyed, but I would have a way to handle it. It's not that big of a deal. I think if Black played like M13 on the top side, I would be annoyed, but I would have a way to handle it. So it's kind of like White should be watching it, but it's not a big deal. With that said, AI has moved to +4 for Black, and I'm not even sure when that happened. I think it happened with White making a group here, or well, rather making the attachment. So yeah, indeed, it turns out that Black has played E2 as I wished. If White is annoyed by so many things, how can we consider White to have played proper shapes beforehand? Um, I would maybe argue that White has played too many shapes in different places. Like all of them are locally fine, but maybe you could have just played fewer of them. Like have one less group. Oh, whoops, I'm on the AI board. So what I mean to expand on my point is that right now nobody is making White create a group at K4. You could just play like this. Very honest shapes. And nobody's making White play H4 either. You could actually still just kick and jump, and your shapes would be very, very easy to handle. But because White has played in a slightly different way, now Black gets to play E2, and White gets to be a bit annoyed. The obvious move is B5, which is also what AI is suggesting. And the idea is something like, if Black blocks, I get some eye space. If Black plays this way, you can probably get away with this one. Even if you get cut, maybe it's worth it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not. This looks bad. So you'd have to clamp. Oh, sorry, clamp. You'd have to nobby and then pretend that you're fine. They forgot about time. We're heading right into disaster. That is true. So Artem also was having a hard time making the idea of b5 work, so instead he went for e3 and then the attachment. This looks really sus. I don't like it. And indeed, Luka has... this shape is getting really punished. I don't like this. And indeed, AI says black +9 now. So even though white is going to be fine, I think, it's not like a catastrophe or white getting into major, major trouble. It's no fun. They finally break. That's what we're here for, I guess. We're not here for the good gameplay. We're here for the losing our minds in time pressure, I suppose. But they still have a minute left. Not only could it be worse, it will be worse throughout the course of this entire series regularly. So one thing we can keep an eye on is, okay, so black played L3 to probe the white shape on the lower side. But how dead is white locally if we just play here? Well, not very. So the idea for black b2 is to take the white I shape. But in fact, if white just really wanted to live and black just really wanted to kill white, we would get to this sequence where in the end black dies. So white is locally alive. White is just locally alive in a really pathetic way, right? Because if black plays b2 and this is how white has to live, well, that's no fun. So yeah. Indeed, Siku's prophecy that things would get worse for white because of all of the hanging weak groups has proven quite effective. I think what happened to Artem is a little bit, I relate to it. And here's why I relate to it. Once in a while, I get into this mood where I like to play what's right as opposed to what's practical. So I'm like, well, if I create 3 weak groups, or rather, I don't even think of it in those terms. I just think, oh, this is the right move, this is the right move, this is the right idea. I have a good reason to play this. And then I end up with 3 weak groups. And then what happens to me is that even though I played moves that are fine and the game is even in AI, I end up with a position that I don't understand how to handle. Like I'm incapable of handling it and I collapse. So this thing that happened to Artem happens to me once in a while, periodically. Isn't Yeah, this is a catastrophe for white. So somebody's asking, can black try something at b2? The answer is yes, Nick and Toby, but as I just showed this variation earlier, black cannot kill because if black tries to play 7, black runs out of liberties. So it's just a good endgame move as opposed to like actually killing. But now I really don't like this way that white played. O6 makes no sense to me. How much does it lose? It loses 4 points. Okay, yeah, it should. So I actually don't understand O6 because O6, like visually, what does O6 do? It, hold on, yeah. Visually, what O6 does is it pretends that sealing the black group in is worth anything, but it isn't. Like white's too busy dying for the corner to matter, and the corner is probably locally alive anyway. So what white had to do is something like this. Just chill, just connect your groups and like, you know, get everything under control. Instead, white plays O6, which is trying to fight back. Black ignores it. And now white is trying to punish black for ignoring it and justifying O6. Now, can you justify O6? No. So I think white might get in trouble. Yeah, O6 isn't pure dame because it does weaken the black corner, which matters. But in the game, black, black played O2 and white just jumped out anyway. So even though it's not pure dame, it sure does look like one right now. I agree. It's really doing its job as pure dame at the moment. And white basically did the same thing that I said white should do, except white's a move behind by doing it. So that's, yeah. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, let's be fair. I haven't mentioned that they're both like on 10 seconds. So that is like an extenuating circumstance for Artem. But hey, it's a rapid and blitz event. You should be good at playing fast. So as the position is stabilized, well, what has happened? White has connected two of the weak groups in one of the most depressed sticks of all time. White has lived with 2 points. White has maybe killed P2. And oh no, oh whoops. And by the way, remember how I said that the endgame would matter? Now White actually can't connect here. Like, just to show everyone, here, 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 and Black would, I mean, just win the Liberty race. So instead, White has to give it up, and White lived with 2 eyes everywhere. Like, oh my God. Okay, so this A lives with 2 points, like A, B lives with 2 points. These stones somehow defy reality and manage to live with 0 points. And in the meanwhile, Black has been hoovering points everywhere. Wait, he doesn't live. What? Oh my God. I just assumed that they would read out that Artem would live. Oh my God, what happened? Uh, well, wait, what? Oh no, okay. So basically what happened is that Black could have killed White, but Black got scared and said, oh, I'm winning anyway, and let White get away with it. Yeah, actually, Siku is on a complete roll. So if you want to do predictions for the next rounds, because we're doing predictions, follow Siku's predictions, because a few moves ago, Siku said, man, these 3 groups that are weak look really sus, and then they all got turned into pathetic sticks. And much earlier, Siku said that, man, you're going to forget about S8, and then it's going to kill you. And all of those things happened. Amazing. White had either S10 or T6 and would have lived either way. No, no, that is incorrect. So the reason that it's incorrect is that this move doesn't work. It's a damezumari. So you would have to, yeah, you just run out of eyes. But anyway, back to the game. So what is going on? White is now trying to scam the black corner because Black made a lot of money on the left side after White did some like threatening. So White just a second ago spent an extra move to threaten the lower right corner, and Black ignored it to make points. And I think the result is going to be that White gets some profit, like we're looking at it here. White could cut off these stones, but it's not enough. So is there some useful aji around K10 to try to split White? Yeah, I would say that there is. Yeah, I agree with that. So I was thinking about this in the back of my mind. The players are playing very fast, so it's hard to really show concrete variations. But basically, Black could try this cut. And here, White barely holds on, I think. But maybe Black cutting here is an issue. It's complicated. So maybe there is some aji to think. I would be thinking about this aji. So in the meanwhile, the players are not thinking about that aji, or at least not. It's not what they're really caring about in the moment. Instead, Black has connected up his stones over here, and he's given up relatively minimal resources in the lower right corner, so he's still doing very well. He's up 20 points according to AI. Yeah, White just got completely split apart earlier, and so long as Black manages to control everything, it will be fine. Just a short note, the reason that Black cannot cut, so just to show everyone, the reason that Black cannot cut like this and try and kill the entire White group is, again, that there is a liberty problem for Black stones. So Black would die. So in the game, what happened is exactly that Black connected and then White also defended. So that made sense from everyone. I think next, after White takes at A, Black is very likely to defend the cutting point, because otherwise the peep would be very annoying. And Black is just kind of cruising, I think, in general. Black has lost some of his lead according to AI, but it's still like 15 points. And 15 points is amply sufficient, especially because Black is really thick. Like, you don't really see any of Black's important groups dying. Like, maybe these guys, but this isn't enough. Like, Black can trade it. If White takes these stones in Gote, that's not worth more than like a normal move on the board right now. So that's not a big deal. I think that in general, Black is quite controlled at the moment. He even has 40 seconds, which is a luxury. Well, I don't want to be mean, but oh man. And now we peep. Yeah, so Black could definitely think about a move like M11, which is making some endgame stuff in the center and is also pressuring the white stick because, as we discussed, this white stick is still not like visibly alive, this one over here. So, if the game was close on points, then Black would really be looking to really like pressure the white group and make white lose time defending it. But in practice, Black can kind of chill and be okay. Because Black got so ahead earlier. What are the points AI is talking about? Does predicts the points? Yeah, so there is an AI score, which usually would be on the overlay that you see above the AI board. Why isn't it there? Because of a very funny technical bug, which would take too long to explain, but it is very funny. And right now it says that Black is plus 8.3, FYI. And it's a prediction of it. I mean, mathematically, it's something like the computer's prediction of what the score would be if it played itself. Something like that. In a situation where there was nothing left and Luka was killing, he managed to create a semi and die by himself. I mean, that doesn't sound unlike Luka. So I talked earlier about how Luka has like a very a solid playstyle. There's a reason he has that solid playstyle. It's because his reading under pressure by standards of like a strong 6-stun is really not his strength. So yeah. Yeah, there's also your game from the Pro Quali, exactly. Somebody asked, what is a semi? So a semi is a capturing race. Thank you. Someone in the chat for covering that. So I played Lukan Neirynck in the professional qualification for Europe. We played in the first round. I played terrible. I got completely crushed, completely crushed. This game was orders of magnitude more lost for me than this game is for Artem, and I won it. And the ways I won it are completely illegal, and they have something to do with that Luka misread a lot of stuff. Which, when Luka loses, that is one of the ways that he loses. Like, Luka is very good at endgame, very professional endgame, actually. He tends to be quite level-headed and very, like, just cool in how he thinks about endgame value, etc. He's very good at playing solidly and good middle game play and, like, just understanding what's going on. And not losing his mind in the middle game, but his reading can be weak under time pressure. Yeah. The critical mistake is pretending one can read in these time settings. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Gonzalez is like talking about some of the games that I've won undeservedly. I am incredibly good at winning games I don't deserve to win. I'm better at winning games than at Go. Like, it's not even close. I'm a very bad Go player, but once in a while I win games that I have no business winning. Um, if Ben Zero is in the chat, Ben Zero will know what I mean. Is Black losing a lot of points now? Yes. So actually, while I wasn't looking, like, yeah, actually, I've also scammed Ali out of the last 2 games that I beat Ali in. I don't deserve to win. So while we were chatting, Lucan managed to like give 10 points in the center. Remember how we were talking about how, like, white was weak in the center and black should like milk the white group for profit, and instead black managed to completely die. So black had to extend and just snake out with the stones, and instead black played here and just died. So yeah, that's a shame. Another game is really close. It's only black +3, so we have to be careful. Now, OMG, there were 2. I only remember the last one. So Ali, you forgot the one in the European Championship where you were up by 25 points. I started some co, and then another co, and then another co, and then I won by half a point. You forgot that one because, I don't know, trauma reaction. Anyway, so yeah, damn. So wait, now what happened? Is the game even? Wait, what happened? I'm really confused because black was up by 3 points just a second ago, and I don't understand what black did wrong. Ah, okay. So, um, so what happened basically is that here, AI is saying that the end game on the top side is much bigger than the end game that the players were playing on the top left, which is true. I agree with that. I think that the players kind of got into some autopilot mode in like huge time pressure. So when black played Sahane, white just answered by habit. But in fact, the top side end game is just more urgent. And so white could have tenukied and gotten an advantage. But as it stands, black is still up by 2 points, according to AI. Um, yeah, the end game is going well for white. So a long time ago, man, I don't know. This is the thing with Luka, right? So Luka is a very careful player, and we saw how a long time ago he could have just killed white. This group could have died, and the game would have been over. And instead, he chose to like safely chill and like not die himself, like make extra sure he doesn't die himself. And this could have been like the game-ending blow. And now that the game goes on, well, in these time settings and etc., you have to understand that you're also taking a risk by making the game continue. Um, a drinking game for a long time ago. Damn, I'm sounding old. Am I old now? I don't, maybe. Who's ahead? Black is still up 2 points. So yeah, so the thing with Luka is that he plays very careful and risk averse, but I think he may have underestimated in this game the sheer like negative value of just playing games in these time settings. Like the sheer risk that you take by continuing a game. Ending a game in your favor is like good for you in these time settings because otherwise you might screw up. And that's exactly what happened to him, right? So a long time ago, he was like completely chilling, and he was just ahead. I did it again. Ah, a, a while ago in this game, he was leading and decided to take a safe choice, and instead he got into this like difficult endgame, which he has to maneuver, but he's still ahead. He's still ahead a couple of points. So after his massive blunder where he played A, got cut, and just died with 10 center points, making the game close as opposed to just easy for black, he has managed to kind of coast. I actually think that A is a mistake, a pretty big mistake. Um, by the way, I just noticed that white did this probably as a time suji to gain time, but that means that if black ever plays A10 and then takes, it's sente, which before it wasn't. So that's pretty bad. And in fact, it's exactly what uh, black has done. And now black's up 4 points. So black gained a bit from this white Atari, which was unnecessary. Um, will make you notice your first graying hair. People are so nice today. So, yeah, I think as the game is getting close, and I'm gonna jinx it so hard, but I think now that black is ahead by 4, and by the way, the reason that black is ahead by 4 is, to be quite clear, it is because of white A. Because white A takes a liberty, which just makes the end game worse. It just makes B a better move for black than it used to be. And after this, with 4 points benefit, I think it's hard for white to come back. Yeah. So I think at this point it's really hard to throw this. So the last big like throwing opportunity was definitely back at 013, and then the game was briefly even, but Luka managed to hold it and play better endgame. So now black is ahead by 4.5. Great commentary, thank you. Um, remember that we're in Europe. Oh, to be honest, I don't think this is about Europe. Come on, you're being very mean. I think it's about the time settings. I think if you put a Japanese professional that is used to like luxury 3 hours main time in these time settings, they could also throw this endgame. I remember Ben0 versus Scourge in Prague, where throwing happened in such late Yose, if not worse. Um, oh man, actually, I have a funny remark about that, Gonzalate. So Scourge does this funny thing where no matter how hard he's losing, he plays endgame. And uh, the reason, I don't know why he does it actually, but the reason I admire it is that it doesn't matter by how much you're losing, you can still practice good endgame and like learn endgame just by playing it, even when you're like losing really hard. Um, and sometimes he even takes a lot of time to play the correct endgame, which I find completely admirable if you're losing. Like it takes a lot of resolve to just try and do it right, even if you're behind. But then I really hope that Ben0 is the one that threw against Scourge, because then Scourge is getting kind of rewarded for playing endgame. I think that that would be quite poetic and good. I don't know if Scourge does it every game, the endgame thing. Just tends to do it against me. Ben threw it. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Ben0's throws. I'm a massive concurrent benefactor of them. It was one of my best games. No, but I appreciate that because you always play games out until the end, in my experience. And it's like just nice when it works out once in a blue moon. It's probably the first game Artem plays since the summer. He's scaling. Yeah, probably. Um, this is fair. I mean, I hope he's scaling, because what happened in this middle game was kind of not pretty. It was very rough. I mean, basically both players played really well, and then as soon as they got into time pressure, Artem made a couple of like really, really like expensive misreads. Not just misreads, but like misjudgments. Like O6 in particular is just such a strange move. Because for those of you that were there when O6 was played, it's like, okay, sure, O6 has a purpose, which is to weaken the black corner, but it just misjudges that the black corner is way too strong for that. And that's kind of the moment where it went from white's groups are a bit sus to white's groups are in boiling hot water. So that was one of the key moments from my perspective. Black is still chilling. Black is +5, so it's getting ever harder to just recover for white, I think. This is a nice move, H7, because it prepares to connect. I don't understand how black only wins by 4 or 5 here. His territories are way bigger. Well, you could count. I think maybe one reason that you are maybe underestimating how many points white has is that you have to keep in mind that all of these are captured stones. And if you look around, black doesn't have that many captured stones. So that's one thing. And another one maybe is that you are maybe not keeping Komi in mind, the value of Komi. So white has like a extra thing going on there, which makes the score closer. So Komi, yeah, so Komi is, yeah, exactly the 6.5. There you go. Yeah. So white never has to be doing as well as on the board as it looks like white should. They're playing with 6.5 Komi. Yeah. Do they know that they're ahead by 3 or 4 points? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Maybe in the faster games where they literally have like 2 seconds per move or something like that. Like their increment is 2 seconds per move. I think generally in that case, maybe they won't know at the end, especially if it's close. Yeah, so this I actually suspect that white will win it because white has some extra threats around f2, b1, but I don't think it matters if white wins it. I think it just makes the game a bit closer. So somebody was mentioning, yeah, the could be like an amazing like last minute throw, and it is a last minute throw, but it's not thrown far enough, basically. Um, yeah, black had no clue about the score. Maybe. Um, Black is still fine. Black is still plus 2.5. Given that it's 2.5 instead of 5, it does seem like the probably was a throw. Black missed the opportunity to prevent it. And white will win the very likely. because I don't see black's threats. Black is running out of threats. Like a couple around here, of course, but not enough, I think. 2.5 doesn't sound fine. At this stage, it's fine. Very, very hard. Like, 2.5 if he plays the ko correctly. Yeah, I actually kind of disagree with that because the correct way to play the ko is to lose it. AI agrees with me. Like, keep jinxing, I love it. Damn. Yeah, Factorio is organizing. Well, rather than organizing, Factorio is the sponsor of this tournament. Particular one of the Factorio devs who is a avid Go player. So yeah, I can lose 2.5 at this point. Well, maybe that's why you're not 6 done. Um, so yeah, so black connects and uh, and black is still up 2.5. So basically, the correct way to play the ko is to just um, chill. And now the game is concluding. Because of this tournament, I started playing Factorio. Um, yeah. Black thinks he threw. What does Black's face look like? I mean, he definitely looks a little bit less chill than before. This is true. Um, it's more like sitting up in my chair. Um, see you in 80 hours. Yeah. I think Factorio, so I am not a player myself, but I have some friends that are really into Factorio. And I have heard the experience being described by like the avid Factorio players as going unconscious. Yeah, yeah, my tongue is definitely sharper than my level. Um, it's right up there with your throws. Um, so yeah, so still black plus 2.5. So now it's really um, wrapping up. Factorio is essentially a game about optimizing things. It has like RTS elements. Can we get Ashe versus Ben for next round? No, okay. I don't know how to pronounce it, Vesole. Don't worry, like, or rather, uh, Ben and me flaming each other has some long history, which we're very happy uh, to remember. I find it incredibly funny. I love Ben Zero banter. Um, yeah, thank you. Glad you like my Moyo style. So yeah, now we're wrapping up. Yeah, this is just Dame, and it is black plus 2.5. Black had to sit up in his chair to count and make sure that he's winning by 2.5, but it is indeed fine. And a turbulent endgame, but it worked out. It worked out for him. So um, do you still play like that? I'm not active anymore. Occasionally, I occasionally play Moyo style. Um, yeah. So they're now counting. So it is indeed black plus 2.5. So Luka actually played really well. So and yeah, now that the game is finished, I want to review it with you guys shortly. The players are going to take a short break. Um, so I want to go to the key moment. Yeah, I will fix the AI score. Thank you. The reason that the AI score was bad is very funny. It's a bug that I think will not replicate to the next game, so I think it will be fine. So I want to go to the really key moment in this game, in my opinion, which is like, okay, here white has like the 3 weak groups, which are a little bit like rough. for white, like A, B, and C. But in theory, you could handle all of them relatively fine. Um, but the key mistake, in my opinion, that makes the game basically uncontrollable is O6. So at this point, white is doing a little bit meh. Like definitely, white lost a lot of points in a lot of places. But after all, if we just play K7 and connect everything, I think that this is generally going to be fine for white, like in the broad scheme of things. Like white is behind, but white is connected. White is doing okay. But when white plays O6, white wastes time because the stone at N6 isn't that important. That make white's group even weaker. Yeah, so that was I think the key like moment. So the players are now taking a break, and I will take some time to fix the overlay. 3p versus 6 done looks not fair to me. I mean, so Artem would statistically be much better, but the thing is, those ratings and grades, those ranks exist in slow time settings. So that's very different, right? Like you don't know how they translate to different types of ranking systems. Or rather, let me clarify what I mean. In fast time settings, maybe they would have different ratings. That's my point. So there we go. So I'm setting up the overlay for the next game. The players are taking a short break, and I'm sure that we will be back soon. Do you play on Lead Chess? Yeah, you saw my yeah. You saw like my links that I click. I am indeed a chess player as well. I indeed sin, and I play on Lead Chess. So if everything is fine, yeah, I'm adding the AI evaluation score right now. Um, so let's see. I'm also going to change the players around. And I will change the scores. I'm focusing on just getting everything down. You guys should see the new board already. Oh no. So Artem disconnected. That's why you can see the overlay is a bit different because Artem disconnected. I'm sure he will be back. It's possible that I definitely asked him not to disconnect, but he may have not gotten the memo. Okay, so there we go. And I am, so while we wait for Artem to come back, I'll shoot him a message at Artem. Maybe he has connection issues. Ah, okay. He mentioned he will restart his laptop. Okay, good. So we have to wait a little bit for Artem. And that let Lukas video invade. Hold on, let me fix that a little bit. Actually, let's not fix it. You will get 2 versions of Luka. And in the meanwhile, I will get you guys the AI evaluation. So, so, okay, so the bug did replicate, so I have to fix it some other way. I keep growing my channel points losing streak. Yeah, it's because you keep voting on the people who will lose. By the way, the votes are open. So just to update everyone, the winner of the first game was Luka. He played a nice attacking game. Artem had a few weak groups hanging around, and Luka really managed to take advantage of those and made it through the end game to win by 2.5. And those who bet on the underdog were rewarded, as Luka is now 1-0 up. So that's the context. Artem had a technical issue and is restarting his computer, I think. And in the meanwhile, I'm getting you guys the AI board, or rather the AI AI score. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, and votes are open for the next one. So Luka for 2-0. Luka is now the crowd favorite. Yes, I did not forget about the score update. But yes, let's see. Yep, okay. So Artem is still not here? Yeah, maybe the internet in Ukraine isn't so good. That wouldn't be so surprising. Apologies for the delay. Oh, Artem is here. Nice, amazing. Please. My name is Razan Vethol. Nice. I hope I did it right. So Artem is back, and the video also seems to be working, which is amazing. So I think he lives in Ukraine, but I'm not sure. Start when you like. So the players, I've just told them to start when they wish. I have actually not been able to fix the AI problem, the AI board problem. That is incredibly annoying. They have started, and I think I have the colors right. Is that correct? Yes. So Luka is white, Luka is 1-0, and they've switched colors. And now they have fewer minutes than before. They started with 5 minutes and 8-second increment every move. Now it is um, 4 minutes and 7 seconds increment, and it will keep going down like that. So yeah. And now the players will maybe be a bit traumatized from what happened to them last game and try and play a bit faster, I hope. We liked you calling the score once in a while. I will try and remember to do that if I don't get the board running. I apologize that I can't get the AI board running. It's a very weird bug. Sorry about that. Yeah, feels hard. So, is everything updated on that end? Yeah. So the players did start playing very fast, but with these types of tournaments and fast games, what happens is the following. The last game, you got into time pressure, which sucked, right? So because time pressure sucked, at the beginning of the next game, you're like, man, I'm gonna play so fast. Like I'm gonna keep myself out of time pressure. I'm gonna like be disciplined and keep my time up. And then the first time that something comes up that you need to think about, you forget about it and just spend all your time again. So well, maybe they will be more disciplined than that. I'm not. To answer another question, there is no Byoyomi. So what happens is that each move, the players get a bit more time. They get like an increment. Let's improve Lukas' camera a little bit. So far the players have chilled really hard. G15 must feel awesome. I'm frankly surprised it's not the jump. So yeah. Mhm. Maybe for next time, prepare a fake GIF with changing scores so people believe it works. Yeah, maybe. So just so everyone knows, the game is even at the moment because nothing has happened. So like I mentioned last game, these players are really very not conservative players because uh, sorry, it's GIF, not GIF. Yeah, you're right. So these players are very like chill in the beginning. They're willing to fight later, but they tend to be relatively conservative in the beginning of the game. And that's what happened last game. Both players were very chill, and then slowly the temperature like increased. So d8 is the first interesting move, and I'm surprised by Black's reaction. That d6 seems weird. I'm sure it's fine, but it's weird. By the way, so some of you would answer like this or something like that. This is generally bad. Black gets overconcentrated if you answer like this. So the principled way to answer is either to answer from the answer from the top, either with Nobi or Hane. In the game, Black chose to just play d6 and kind of say that it's maybe not fun for White to play here and create another weak group when the this Kosumi shape on the lower side isn't so strong. And White actually agrees. White is not making it happen, and Luka is choosing to chill. Yeah, it looks like both of them want to have an old Japanese puppy game this time. Well, that's what they do every game. Like Artem and Luka really do chill a lot. So one way that I have heard my coach, Jeff, describe Artem's playing style is he wants to fill the game, like fill the board up so that the game ends quicker, something like that. Uh, and in that sense, I think Artem kind of likes to control the game and like not let it go too far and either way. N4 is weird. Okay, N4 is really weird. I'm not a fan of this. Why not M3 for black? Well, we can look at it. Um, so uh, M3 would be fine. Ish, but I personally don't want to create another group when like E4 is around. And that's why N4 doesn't make any sense to me. White could have just done something like this, made his group stronger and like made black a little bit over concentrated, but instead white now is the one that has a bunch of groups. Remember last time, the one that had 3 weak groups really didn't do well. And currently it says +2 for black according to AI. And just forgetting the AI evaluation, I just don't like White's approach here because this stone at N4, it's not dealing with that many points. Like Black would have gotten like I don't know 15 points or something like that. It's not like a bit less if White just doesn't create a group there. And as White creates a group, White just weakens everything. Like A is weak, B is weak, C is weak, and White has to spend a move to defend it. And now White is juggling everything. And in fact, now that White has spent an extra move, so just a minute ago, I said that black was plus 2.5. In fact, now uh, black is plus 7.5. And the reason is that this connection at R7 is too slow. So this connection was just, white doesn't have time for it because white's dying. White had to live with something instead of connecting at R7. So, okay, this is strange. This is a strange, like, unless white finds a magical way to live inside here, and AI probably says that it's possible. By the way, this cut doesn't work because black doesn't have to defend the two stones. Black could just give them up. So AI does say that black is only plus 3 now. So there's a chance that it's finding some way for white to live. Maybe like this attachment. But black can block. Like, if you did this, sorry, if you did this, you could convince me that white's going to live. But I don't see what's stopping black from just blocking. Black's fine, and there's no issues in the center. Like, it looks really ugly, but there's nothing wrong with it. So while white is figuring out how not to die, um, the question that he asked black is like, how do you answer here? Like, and I don't think it's a hard one. I think black will just nobi. But okay, black chooses to hane instead. And now white has to figure out, like, do I have a way of living here? Does Q2 work? If black cuts like this, do I have some combination in the center that works out for me? That's the question that white needs to answer. And in fact, white is looking for that combination. But just like, oh no, this is so ugly. Because notice that as white is playing all of these stones, unless white kills something, which white won't, because, okay, now you can play a ko, but this ko is massive. This ko is really massive. Like, I think black is fine to even give up like R14 or something to win this ko. So, yeah, black could just win the ko now and be winning, right? Yeah. Yeah, AI says that after black takes, it's black plus 15. So the thing is, you could say, oh, white lived, and in fact, black took this one, which is actually better. I agree with him. So even though you could say, oh, white settled the group and white got the corner, that's not how it works. These ponukis are monstrous. This is unplayable for white. We don't see the score. Yeah, I apologize for that. You don't see the score because of a really annoying technical error. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to fix it between the breaks. So I'm keeping you updated verbally. So yeah. So yeah, there's this proverb that says a Ponuki is worth 30 points. I actually disagree with F6. I think that it's the right time to take all of the ice shape from the white group and make it suffer these guys. I really dislike this more conservative black move because it's kind of giving white an excuse to live locally. Influence like absolutely thrives and flourishes when the things around it are weak. Like, influence is not good at enclosing points, it's good at attacking stuff. So I kind of dislike that white got this opportunity to live, and white's, yeah, this is the current position. White will find a way to live on the lower side. And of course, black is still doing fine because this framework is like really nice, very strong. And black will do well, but I just really wish that black had just kept the group weak and gone for the long term. If all lives can be playable, maybe. I mean, yeah, if all lives can be playable, but yeah. In fact, in this position, black has lost some of his lead. So earlier, black was plus 15. I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to check because I actually have the AI with me. Yeah, exactly. AI wanted to play either F3 or F2. So if we go all the way back, black is spending some time to think, so we can go back. One of these moves that takes all of white's eye shape would have been plus 15. But in the game, where black lets white get away with living, this is only plus 10, and let's update the AI board. Yeah, so, okay, I dislike this move as well. Okay, so how hard am I going to roast him? Okay, so if Lucas were my student, and if I saw this move, I could mistake him for my student. I would tell him influence is good at attacking stuff. It's not good at making points. these moves look like they're making points with influence. These points specifically. And you would say, well, what's wrong with that? That doesn't look very bad, right? But it is, because the problem with making points in the center. Oh wait, Luka is white. Damn, I'm roasting a 3-dan professional. I lost my mind. Sorry, guys. I'm still gonna roast him. So, like, I don't know. This doesn't feel coherent to me, because it's like the problem with center territory, who just got beaten by Luka. That is true. So I don't know why I just retconned that. Yeah, I got the wrong player. So anyway, center territory is just open everywhere. So if Black really wants to close all of the center territory, you can see how many moves it took him. He had to play A, B, and C. And it's like so many moves to make a lot of points, which looks like a lot of points, but it's not as much per move as you would get by playing something, I don't know, like R17, or by playing on the top side. So that's my criticism. And I feel pretty strongly about this. I actually suspect I know what's going on, like psychologically. Basically, Artem got to this position where he has 3 Panukis, and he's like, I can play safe and win. And that's maybe why he's playing this way. Like, he's kind of like controlling the game, because he understands that the result was incredibly good for him, and thus he kind of chose to chill and like not go for the most like strong variations, and instead keep the game controlled and just close the territories and win. And you could say, well, that's a good strategy, except remember how last game we talked about how Luka made a safe choice, which prolonged the game, except prolonging the game is in itself dangerous with these time settings. And now Artem has 1 minute left, and his lead has gone down to 10 points as opposed to like 15 that it was before. And we've already seen that 10 points in these time settings can disappear really quickly, especially when you're down 2 minutes like this. So I really disagree with this. I think if I were Black, I would have hard gone for attacking the white group, because also in these time settings, attacking is just incredibly valuable. Like when you keep the pressure on your opponent and the opponent has to respond and react, that means that they have to burn time and energy and resources. Whereas if white lives, well, that's not as big of a deal. With that said, E2 is trying to revive some Achi and actually make some attack work. I think white's fine. But I think E2 is also fine. There's nothing wrong with asking the question, and I think everyone should live. Um, yeah, H2 seems strange. Yeah, because the thing is, white can play B2 and just be fine. Note that the clamp doesn't work because white just goes down. There's nothing wrong. So black might have to Hane. And I think, wait, so in the game, black just played M3, which is sort of Sente. I mean, white can't Tenuki, but it's big, so white will answer. So, yeah, it kind of looks like this will happen. I know, but then black has a cut. So this Hane is hard to answer. I wonder what black will do about it. Sorry, what white will do about it. If Artem Hanes, what will Luka do? I'm not sure. So one man's center is another man's side. I agree exactly. The centers, like basically, if you think about making a center like this, the problem is that every move that white plays threatening to get inside is a move you have to react to. It's like so many open sides you have to just protect. So for now, Artem is basically playing a lot of Sente moves. So notice that this is a Sente move, this is a Sente move, this is a Sente move. And the reason he's doing it, I'm almost sure, is because he's reading whether C works or how to like try and break the lower left. Oh, just E3. I missed that. Thank you, Ali. So basically, the problem is that if white Hanes, now we play E3, and then if black plays G2, Now we can play b4. So Luka is actually fine. And now we get here, and Black's unlosable super safe game has turned into only +6. So yeah, and we have to see if like now that White isn't weak anywhere, it's just a matter of endgame and just who has yeah, the better like endgame in this kind of time pressure, because 6 points is not that bad. And in fact, White has even managed to chip away a little bit more at Black's territory. Okay, I'm gonna keep roasting the center. Come on, it's not that much. Like, it got reduced here, it got reduced there. It's like think of how many moves Black spent for it, right? Yeah, and one thing that Luka generally is very good at is time management, by the way. So it makes sense that here Artem is kind of in trouble at 22 seconds, and Luka is still like mega chilling at 2 minutes and 47 seconds. In that sense, that's a very admirable thing that Luka did, which is that in the first game, he kind of got in time pressure, and he manages to like adapt to that. He successfully managed to adapt to that and is now showing amazing time management, right? Oh my God. Oh, this move. This this looks dangerous for both sides. So White's idea is to cut in the really ugly way. Not White, Black's idea. So Artem wants to cut this way, which looks really ugly, but what if it just works? And Luke actually chose to compromise like this. And I think that if White can't play e14, then this is a success for Black. So White actually overplayed, and Black managed to find a very nice. Um, oh wow! So White actually resists. So Lucam resists. We cut, and now, I mean, I think that these two stones just die, and White tries to get something in return for it. So yeah, I think this is strange. I actually really dislike what White did here. So Scourge is making a good point. He can use the time. I really wish that Luka had spent the time to actually read here, whether this fight is playable or something like that. Because in the game, he just gave a lot of stuff up. And okay, he still has time on the clock, but you have to use your time on the clock to actually make good things happen. So it does seem like there's a missed opportunity lurking here. For sure. And indeed, Black has moved to +7. So before, Black was actually hovering +6, +4, and now Black is all the way up to, sorry, +9.7. Because, I mean, if you just look visually, like, Black had no business getting this border. That's not what should have happened by any means. So now, White is trying to find some interesting Aji, but it looks doomed to me. I think it's maybe trying to put Black under pressure. I think Artem will be fine. I think there are several ways to deal with this. I think F12 looks fine. AI is also co-signing it. So, yeah. White has some territory too, for sure. For sure. Uh, while Black was busy making the center, White was busy making the side. And now they're somehow equally big, as like they are. Like they're both equally big. But I guess Black's Ponukis are too strong or something. I mean, no, not really. Black really not Black. White Luka really blundered by giving Black this territory line. So yeah. Now that they're playing endgame, so White has sort of given up on making anything happen, and now has to figure out how to get 9 points in endgame. Not infeasible. In the last game, Luka was up by basically 10 points in endgame, and Artem managed to recover like 8 of them or something. So it could definitely happen. Mm. Why isn't the right side still open? Why does no one claim it? That's a great question. So I guess we're kind of looking at, would a move like A or B make sense because of territory? And the answer is yes, but I can also tell you why neither player has played it so far. The reason nobody has touched that area is that so long as there are weak groups and weak shapes, that takes precedence. In this game, these groups of blacks and whites have been very strong and solid, so neither player has really cared about dealing with that area. Because in Go, groups matter a lot. So long as there was some fighting going on, nobody really cares about R11 or like S11. Now that we're getting into the end game, maybe both sides are caring about it. But notice that even here, white is prioritizing the corner. And one of the reasons that white is prioritizing the corner is that the corner is where the easiest I shape is made. So when white takes these points in the corner, white is not only taking points, but is also weakening black. So imagine that white had instead played something like R11 and black plays Q18. The black group isn't weak ever again. But if white takes the corner like this, then black still has a group to worry about. So notably, this kind of cut gets really annoying. So I actually suspect that after white plays S18, black might have to play here. So it's like black being weak makes black less able to take points on the right side. And that's why caring about groups is very important in Go. So I hope this is a nice little microcosm example. Instead, black plays Q13, which I think is a good move, probably. That looks reasonable. And the idea is to counterattack in the sense that you're using the liberty shortages of these stones. However, you can ask yourself the question, what if white pushes and cuts? Like, is black going to play here and then fight and try and kill the black stones? That looks difficult for everyone. Uh, and in the game, white decided not to go for that. White has hunted. Maybe white will still push. And by the way, the AI score is currently... Okay, now it's black to black +7. So remember how I was talking about how maybe white could get away with cutting? So the top AI move was cutting, and then it's only black +2. And instead, white chose to stay in the center. And black manages to finally play the important Kosumi move that strengthens everything. And white also fixes his shape. Maybe white can catch up in the endgame? Yes, maybe white can. And now, like black has lost some of his lead. So it's currently +4 for black. Oh, 1 second. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, Artem looks as nervous as I was for him on his behalf just a second ago. So in the end, I think that the reason that this fight was okay for black is that at the end, white had to defend at 014 and take Gote. But a priori, it's a huge success to get A and force black to play B. That's a nice endgame win. So best of 3, 5. Yeah, it's a best of 5. Best of 5. So this isn't an elimination game. Yeah. So wait, what happened? I looked away for like 1 second, and now it says that it's white +1. What? Can you please explain to me? Oh, dear Lord, AI. Oh, okay. So just N10 is too small. So notice that black took a move to play M10, sorry. And you know what? I have to say, it's kind of poetic that I have been complaining about black caring about points in the center for the entire game and overvaluing points in the center and etc. And the move that finally gives white an advantage is this one. I really appreciate that. So yeah, this has allowed, sorry, AI board isn't updated. So as it happens now, we are even, completely even. So this game was just endgame since M6. Yeah, this is true. But this is what I hate about it. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna go on a rant. Okay, so imagine that you are black in this game. You get 3 Ponukis. 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. You get 3 Ponukis in the center like this once every like 500 games or something like that. And what do you do with your 3 Ponukis? You let white live, you close territories as if you were playing a territorial game, and you never use your influence ever. and then you're surprised that your 15-point lead turns into an even game. I don't know, like, yeah. I think basically I have this perception that sometimes other Go players, especially in like tournament games and like in high pressure situations, they go for these kind of like psychological ideas like, oh, I should play safe and chill if I'm winning. And Artem clearly did that. And in my opinion, his objective view of the board completely deteriorated while he did that. And he just played to be safe and close territories, which is just not a principled way to play the game. Not at all. And now we are in this razor-thin endgame, where it is currently black +1. And all of this happened because Artem played safe and just didn't care about the board situation. He just cared about the concept of like, I am ahead and should play safe, as opposed to playing to the position. Like, these 3 ponukis are the least impactful 3 ponukis I have ever seen of all time ever. And, you know, Artem might win in the end, right? Because Artem has a good endgame. But, you know, who knows? Like, now it's risky. So, yeah, it's completely even, dead even at the moment. 0-0-0. Um, could you show shortly who is in the tournament? Actually, if someone could just drop our friend here with the long number name, um, just the link to like the current tournament situation. Thank you very much. Excellent. Yeah, this is the last round of 8 game. So at the moment, the game is still dead even, by the way. Still completely dead even. It's oscillating a bit according to AI opinion, but I don't understand why. And I don't think the players do either. This looks like some inhuman stuff. It is razor thin, like completely even. And the AI move that it's pointing out for black doesn't make any sense to me. It's I don't know. Yeah, it makes sense, but I wouldn't have seen it. So here we are playing razor thin endgame. Why am I focusing so much on what happened before the endgame? It's like, if black had played well, we would never be in this situation in the first place. So of course, black has to care about the endgame from the perspective of I have to win. But from the commentator's perspective, I'm like, yeah, this endgame shouldn't have happened in the first place. So now we are completely even still. Um, And in fact, yeah, before it was stochastically saying black +2 because it kept finding this really nice idea for black. Hold on, this one. And the idea is that because white has a liberty shortage, this move is center. So black is making a bunch of points. So in the game, white manages to play P11 and fix his shape in the center. And now the game is still dead even, 0-0-0. And it would have been like a half-point game all the way, like the entire game. Sorry, the entire endgame, if not for this black move at A. So we're still dead even. And aside from missing O12, the players have played really well, actually. There's no like major endgame mistakes. They just missed this, like just how strong this O12 move is. And I wouldn't have seen it either. So that, you know, makes sense. Actually, fun fact, O12 is still the best move according to AI. It keeps seeing it and it keeps freaking out about it. I have some eye problem with all of the Ponuki shapes. Yeah, it is a bit psychedelic. So what white needs to find here is a move around A. So white not getting O6 seems a small mistake. Um, yes and no. I think that mostly it's I don't think it's a small mistake because there were other moves that were just as big as that move, notably O12. But it is also true that white could have gotten it for complete free, right? It would have been very easy. Um, game is still 0.6 because now that white fixed his problems in the center by playing A, now there's no shape problems. Like, to be clear, before black could have played A and then cut A and cut with B. So that like white could have been cut in the center, and that means that white would have lost out on this extra point. So now it's still a half point. AI seems to think that black will win by half a point. But damn, it's yeah. I mean, 1K for a fun online tournament is really not bad. Like, when I signed up to this tournament, I kind of just thought it would be fun. Like that was uh my goal. So the players are really low on time. I really like Lukas' time management this game. He's only really down on time now. Before that, he was like very comfortably up on time and played quite well. After the fiasco on like the Ponuki fiasco. So yeah, I think this I have a hard time understanding the point of this because after all, Black A is Sente, so White has to play here anyway. So they're playing a half point when there's still moves like K1 on the board. So I'm like a little bit confused. AI doesn't think they're making mistakes, so there must be something I'm missing. Is a cat legal? I think a cat is encouraged. Yeah, it is definitely true that our prize money is a joke compared to chess. I would have been so much richer if I just kept playing chess. 'Cause I used to be a chess player when I was younger. Um, so what's gonna... Yeah, I have a hard time understanding the ko, like I said. I think G2 is a bigger move than the ko, intuitively. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. How much was your FIDE ELO? I have no clue. I played junior tournaments when I was 5 or 6. On Lead Chess, I'm like 2,000 all time controls. Yeah, I don't know what that is in FIDE terms. Yeah, so Black connected the ko, and yeah, Black is winning by half a point. Yeah, so kind of as expected according to AI. Man, not gonna lie, I'm really salty. I'm really salty that Black is winning this game. I am partial. I mean, to be honest, you could be asking, like, hey, why aren't you mad at White, who committed unspeakable sins by giving Black 5 Ponukis in the center? Why shouldn't Ducat be punished? And that's like, sure, White did make a mistake, but I don't know. I'm more annoyed at Black's mistakes, so I have this partiality. White lost a lot on the right side. Is that true? Um, I bet on Black, and I am salty by this play. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh man. So okay, they're removing stones, and it is Black plus 0.5. Welcome Raiders. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you to Waller Dog Go. So a banger half pointer. Um, yeah, calculated, calculated. Man, Artem looks like he should after that game. Um, uh, please rewind and show how to play with Ponuki. Yeah, sure. I can do that shortly. So, the key points this game were early. White created a lot of weak groups and then played slowly. So I think N3 is a really bad move because it creates a bunch of extra weak groups when Black is generally stronger. Then R7 is really slow and should have been something like M7, pulling out the group. Then White started mega dying and had to like sell his soul to live with his groups. And this is the key moment where Black would have played different. When you have influence, especially on the level of 3 Ponukis, you play to attack. You need to look at the weak groups, and that is what's going to make your influence flourish. So Black should have played either F3 or F2, taking all of White's I shape. And if White runs out, you keep taking the I shape. You torture that group. Why isn't the center that big? Because when Black starts making the center, first of all, it takes a million moves to close it. And second of all, while Black is busy closing the center, White's making points. Black should have pincered on the top side, because when you have influence and you're stronger, you fight. In the game, Black's influence is just not like that lucrative if you consider that it's going to get reduced everywhere. So that's the TLDR. So let's go to the next game. The players are taking a short break, as they should. So this is the new board. This is the new review. So, yeah, I'm glad you liked the explanation. So let's see. I need to change the overlay up a bit. So this time we have Luka, who is black. How is the Discord doing? Okay, Artem is again having connection issues. Rest in peace. That's fine. He'll be back. He'll be back. He was back last time. And in the meanwhile, I will fix the overlay for you guys. Black won by half a point, yeah. So I'm just focusing on the overlay for a bit. Half pointers are awesome. That half point was its own kind of awesome. Let's put it that way. That was something else. I confess that there are half pointers that I liked more than that one that I have seen in my life. The thing is, it's not even about like the blunders or like the level of reading or something like that. It's more about like the attitude or like a black strategy that I'm just not a fan of, I guess. So it's a very personal thing why I'm so salty. Who's the best blitz gamer in Europe overall? Dominic Bovis. To be honest, Dominic plays a lot of blitz. I have no clue how good he is at it. I wouldn't be that confident. So bets for game 3. Also, Artem is back, amazing, and the camera overlay didn't even get screwed because of it. So we are now 1-1. Artem fought back with a half-point win after having 3 ponukis after 60 moves, and now the score is even. So you can bet on who will go. So you can predict who you think will win. I am now, okay, usually I'd be like an impartial commentator, but I really want Luka to win. Like, okay, fine. Luka does other things that offend me sometimes, but my short-term, like, I barely have object permanence when it comes to Go opinions. So I'm like, man, Black offended me last game. I want Artem offended me last game, so I want Luka to win. So thanks for your commentary. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. So I will very quickly try and do one last ditch attempt. One attempt. My last one to fix the AI score so that you guys can see it. I will do my very best. And let's see. Add source. Okay, I'm doing it the hard way. Manually update it after every move. Yeah. I am handling. I've actually found a solution. It's just annoying to implement. Yeah. Yep. So, 1, 5. While the players take their well-earned break. Yeah, it's gonna work. Yes, we have an AI board. I'm almost there, I promise. And yep. No. Okay, I am having a yeah. So I have a very weird thing going on with OBS where I can't make new displays basically. Um, yeah, I guess it's not working out. I'm sorry. Very weird bug. The players will start at their discretion. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it to work. I thought I was getting it to work and I didn't. So basically I have this very weird bug in OGS at the moment. And if any OBS Studio, and if anyone knows how to fix it, I'd be incredibly grateful. I cannot create new like screen displays or captures. None of them work. They all fail, and I don't know why. Um, so that will be fixable. I'll keep trying to fix it, but I'm less and less optimistic. With that said, you can still vote for Game 3, as the players are actually at it now, and we have Luca, who is black, and I will actually, there we go. You guys should be seeing Luca being black and Artem being white. The score is 1-1, and they now have 3 minutes and very few seconds per move. I think like 4. Is the board fixed for everyone? I think it's fixed, right? Yeah, looks fixed. Yeah. I apologize. The review isn't fixed. Yep. Ba-ba-bam. So there you can see the AI move, even if you can't see the AI score. The game is even. They are playing some Joseki that I don't know. Um, no, it can end in this corner. Yeah, okay, so they just blitz it out. This is some Joseki. I really hate these Josekis. So I personally have a philosophy that I like the game to be as long as possible without like as few Josekis as possible. So I never go into these variations, but these players like them and know them. And the game is even, so apparently they know what they're doing. Um, I hate this sequence, me too. I really hate these kinds of Josekis. I always play the simplest Josekis that involve me uh, like just knowing the least I can because I just like to play the game, not to play Josekis. That's just my opinion. I won't even explain it. This Joseki, it's just stuff. Looks good for white to me, but what do I know? It looks about even to me, but of course I have the benefit of AI saying it's even. Um, yeah, it's even. It's even, completely even. So it was his corner. Like, I mean, it's just a sequence. It's also uh, it just looks Joseki-ish to me, but I'm just used to it. I know this one. You're also like 10 stones stronger, I guess. Um, yeah, Black got sent. That is very important. White did spend an extra move on this area. So actually, intuitively, I would guess that I would be very slightly unhappy as white because I feel a bit over-concentrated having these stones next to like these other stones. But AI says white +1, so what can I say? So just keeping in mind, one thing I'd really like to see from specifically Artem this game is um, just sharper time management because in the first game, both players' time management was pretty rough, but then Lukas' time management in game two was crisp, and I think that's why he almost won a lost game. So yeah, so we get the sequence where this looks a bit rough for black actually. Oh man, not only is it a bit rough for black, it says white +7. Damn, I wouldn't have expected that. So let's see what happened. So basically black is trying to kind of flexibly make some outside shape with his group, and I think the right move would have been something like this one, but of course he was worried about the cut, and it would be really annoying to have two groups floating around. I think it's still the right thing to do. But instead, he tried to keep everything together, and now he's about to just get cut. White's going to play f13, and then black's just going to have two weak groups, and in fact, it gives white +7. And black is, kind of suffering. And also, just to make things worse, black doesn't extend. Black has to extend because like this, you give white the Atari and you play f15, which is the most dumb move of all time. So yeah. So, man, black shapes are disgusting. Um, Remember how I said earlier that I'm rooting for Lucas this this uh, series? I am rethinking that. Like, I am looking at this shape and rethinking that. Um, I have to say. But let's see how he handles these groups. He's not going to die with them. He's just going to suffer a bit. I think probably this is. I don't really endorse this push because it gives white time to really clamp down on the black stones. Like white could try and get very severe, but I guess black will survive, so it's fine. Like this is like pretty bad for black, but nothing will die, so the game goes on, etc. Um, I think white could be preparing instead of playing the shoulder hit, which would be something like, oh, let's try and like double hane or something and get really, really intense. Maybe he's preparing to pincer instead, which is an option. But the problem with the pincer is that you're also creating the cutting point over here, which is not ideal. So let's see what white decides to do about it. In general, black is slowly stabilizing with this group because there's enough stones. There's a little bit of eye shape on the left side. There's a little bit of eye shape on the center. There's this cut that white needs to worry about. So overall, black is getting safer and safer. I think it's slowly becoming time for white to pivot here. AI still wants white to add another move, but I suspect that it's... wait, what? Okay. So you know what's really surprising to me? This move looks really slow from white, this C7 business, but it also doesn't lose anything in AI. So what can I say? So I think J14 is like a little bit um, slow. I don't know. I wish white had been more severe, either by doing the Kema or by pincering. Like this black sort of gets away free in some sense. So to be clear, nothing about this is fine for black. Like you had a lot of stones in that area and it should have turned into some influence or something. And like this, you're just breaking even in terms of like your groups aren't dying, which isn't like a desirable place to be in. Um, you cheer for Luka, but wish for white to be more severe. Like, okay, let me put it this way. I don't like inherently favor either player. I'm not like, oh my god, I love Luka, or oh my god, I love Artem. I like good go. But I have very particular tastes in like what good go means. That's why I'm not stronger than I am. Because I have opinions, which are wrong a lot of the time. And I'm basically biased against people who play that from my perspective, in my opinion. So when I see black shapes this game, I'm like, I don't know if I want to root for black. I want black to get punished for his sins. Yeah, so that's the point. So speaking of bad shapes, isn't black gonna get completely exploded here? That's what it looks like to me. Um, like this one, Like, it's just entire dominate. Remember how I said that black is kind of stabilizing with this group? This is not as true as it used to be. I mean, the reason why is, I mean, I guess I was going to say it's because black spent a move at k16, but white also spent a move. I think the bigger issue is maybe this one could have been better. But of course, that's a cop-out because white could have just pushed first. So that's just lack of accuracy. So, okay, so instead of keeping on with the torture of black's groups, or the immediate torture of black's group, white instead goes for O17. Reminds me of your class on not playing dummy. Thank you. Damn, that's a long time ago. Nice that you remember that. E12 looks quite vital. Yeah, I think that both players avoided it because it looked like small, but it is very good for the eye shape. I agree with that. I make classes. Yes, I have lectured online, and those lectures are available online on YouTube. You can find them if you like. Maybe someone can link some. So anyway, white is still doing well. White is still plus 10. White has been plus 10 the entire way since here. So I will update you on any major changes to the score. Since this point, white has been plus 10. And white is playing very conservative. It's worth noting, by the way, that Artem is down to 30 seconds, which is really rough. But in this case, he has managed to safely connect his stones. I mean, they're not fully connected, but they're getting stronger and stronger and more annoying to cut. And in general, white is in control. I kind of disagree with this last move of white's. In fact, it goes down to white plus 7.2. The reason I don't like A is that I really, really want to play F8. Why? Because once black captures the stone, this gives black much needed ice shape. Like this suddenly becomes like a haven of ice for black. Whereas if black manages to get out the, sorry, if white manages to get out the stone, Artem here, and forces black to defend, well, then there's nothing to do. Now, maybe white was concerned about black's hane. This is very possible. But anyway, going back to the game. We now play R16, which is a standard move from this like position. And yeah, this is a Joseki. White settles on the top side, reduces black's corner a bit, like only a tiny bit, and then tenukis. Sure, why not? I want to go back briefly to this while the players aren't doing anything too special. I'm sure that white was thinking of F8, but maybe was scared of black playing this other move. And was scared of the fight. Maybe black cuts and it's complicated. I don't know. So that's why white avoided it. But I don't agree. I would have fought this intuitively. I could. It's hard to explain why, but I have this like strong intuition. No, not the flying knife. Ugh. Okay. So this joseki, this corner pattern, is called the flying knife, and it's called the flying knife because it's really sharp. And has a lot of reading variations. And I don't play the flying knife because I like playing Go more than chess, so I don't like memorizing variations. However, once in a while, professionals and other players who aren't professionals just decide to like have a like memory contest where they figure out which one of them lost more time consulting AI about this joseki. And some people really like doing that. They actually have fun doing it. They actually have fun playing this move, leaving like 300 cuts and being like, yeah, this is normal Go. And yeah, Luka has fun doing this. I don't, but Luka does. He thinks flying knife is the funniest thing ever. He loves it. Um, and yeah, I'm not a fan. This is very hard to explain given the time settings. This is just Joseki. It's all Joseki, and white's still plus 7. Because, yeah, I played without studying with AI. Yes, you're cooked. Why are you doing that? Um, it is fun. I mean, it would be fun to play this as a fight. I really don't like playing it as a memorized variation. Oh, 2 seconds? Okay, Artem's fine. So this is a mistake according to AI. So it's only white plus 2 now. Why? I don't know the Joseki. So just from a fighting perspective, S6 makes sense to me. Why is white playing s6? Because white is going to soon play m2 and live on one side of the board. And ideally, white is going to live on the other side of the board as well. Now, of course, instead of obliging, and like black could have lived in the corner and white lives at b, but instead black decided to try and kill with b8, except it's not really killing because white has some ways to get out. Maybe, I don't know. But this looks difficult for white. I think, I think it's this pattern where basically white tries and capture the black stones, but what if it doesn't work? I don't see how this works, and in fact, black is +2 now. So, yep. The time difference in the situation happened. Yeah, so I think there's been some rumors that Artem is a little bit out of shape, so maybe he forgot the like variations of the flying knife. I dislike this move. S7 is bad. Uh, I have read this before, and I'm pretty sure that M6 just works. Like black just runs out and white can't capture you. So why would you just capture? And okay, this is also good for black because this wall would usually be very strong. But first of all, we have seen that Artem's relationship with influence is not as good as it could be. And also, there's no weak group to attack. So it's like, um, yeah, this wall of white isn't particularly strong or particularly useful. With that said, if I were black, I would have just jumped here. That would have been completely fine. Um, also, Artem may have 10 seconds, but he's indeed making time to pet his cat. Family man, I guess. Um, so Lukai is actually ahead now, and is not only ahead, is ahead by 10 points. Wait, how did that happen? Ah, of course. Okay, yeah. So basically, when the players don't have time, they make this kind of mistakes, and I didn't notice it. So here, notice that white can capture here and can play here. Both of these are center moves. Which one do you play? Neither, because you want to keep both of them for later. Artem spent one of the moves, and now this means that later white has a significant weakness here, because like this, the stones on the lower side at O2 die, and on the other hand, now this massive cut exists, so the wall is actually weak. Right? And in fact, black is choosing to fight here using the fact that white's shape isn't that strong. And Artem is in time pressure. So I think that this makes a lot of sense. And now black is +10. So I have to say, um, someone going into flying knife, not remembering it, 2 seconds, okay, not remembering it, then getting in trouble is kind of satisfying, but it's also not satisfying because the other player also chose to play the flying knife and got rewarded for it. I just wish both sides could lose. Um, but Luka has been rewarded for studying a lot of the flying knife and is now +11 still. And you can see that even though in some positions you could imagine this wall being like acceptable trade-off for white, in the face of black getting all of these points on the right side. This wall ended up being really pathetic, right? Like white played very defensively, like white didn't get so many points. And it makes sense that black is doing well. I think black can now launch the endgame. So long as he's confident enough that he has two eyes with the center group, which I think he should be, and moves like A, like B, maybe like C or D. Yeah, okay, so he did jump here. This jump is like making the group over here a bit stronger, which is important because it's black's weakest remaining group almost, even though it's pretty strong. And it's also putting a little bit of pressure on the white stones at O17. You can imagine that if black plays N18, this cut might become a problem later in life, like maybe here. Um, so I think that it's very reasonable for black to turn his attention to this part of the board. Um, yeah. Did you say both players chose it? I think this version was forced by black. White couldn't reasonably back down. Um, I disagree. The flying knife, I can talk about it later, but there's many ways to back down from the flying knife as both sides. Many ways. It's not particularly hard to avoid the flying knife as both players. Flying knife, the reason I don't have to learn the flying knife is that it's easy to avoid as both colors. Very easy. I can show you later. Isn't J1 a blunder? Maybe. So the reason it could be a blunder is that it makes, yeah, it is a blunder because like this, O5 is Sente. because M2 will kill the white stones at O2. And like this, it's not center anymore. So this is true. Black did indeed blunder, but black still +8. So indeed, black did what I proposed. Black played this one. Instead, he played H18. So I proposed N18 to attack the white stones while playing endgame. Instead, black defends his own stones playing endgame, which makes sense. I recall Luka telling me that he has an unavoidable variation to force the opponent into the flying knife. That is cope. I will defend this later. Luka will never play a flying knife against me for the rest of time. I guarantee it. Um, I know, I jinxed it really hard, but you know. I would like to see how you avoid it as white in this case, because this is not the standard variation. Yeah, I'd happily show you later how I would avoid it as white. I think the O2 and 2 exchange is what that is avoidable. Yes, that is exactly what's avoidable. So now white is switching his attention to the center. So what happened in the last few moves? White, like black played H18, white cut over here, which makes sort of sense because it's worth points, and it also weakens black's center group. Black defends the center group, and now white turns his own attention to fixing that cutting point we were talking about earlier, and maybe making a bit of points in the center. Now, if you watched this part of this stream earlier, you would maybe be asking yourself, why would we care about the center points? The short answer is we might care about center points now that there's nothing else to care about, because the board is getting emptier and emptier. With that said, I actually still think that N18 is a big move, and both players should really prioritize it. Like N18 is massive, especially now. Because when we play N18 in this particular situation, we're low-key threatening to kill the white top right corner. So white's going to be forced to either connect or live, which is exactly what happened. And now that black has gotten N18, black is up by 13 points. So yeah. People are following with this with AI. That's impressive. Are you putting in the moves yourself? So let's go back a little bit. I actually want to criticize White's gameplay a little bit. I think this Hane is really bad because keeping the stones connected is very important. What happened when White didn't keep the stones connected? Black was able to play A, and White was forced to answer in basically Dame. The B for A exchange is really good for Black, and that's why Black is now up 13 points. So Black should cruise to a victory by now. Here comes the Artem slanders again. Oh, baby, I have all evening. Um, I still haven't forgotten like Artem's sins from last game. Now, did Luka also play in ways that I wasn't happy with earlier? Yes, but I don't know. I'm biased that way. So, Luka still has a healthy amount of time considering the endgame, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Artem is down to 15, which is rough. Yeah, monkey jump, very reasonable. And black is cruising. I mean, we could play the game of like, if black lost this game, like how would black lose it? Like what would be the easiest way for black to lose? It would be something like black falls asleep and dies on the top side because white put some stones. I don't know. I expected Luka to be a strong opponent, but he's outperforming my expectations. Yeah, so I mentioned this earlier. Luka loves blitz go and fast games. And he is really not bad at them. Like I play a lot of blitz with him, and you know, sometimes I win, sometimes he wins, but he definitely performs better than he would in like slow go, in like normal time settings, respectively. Yeah. And now he is kind of taking some time. I guess he can do that. I guess he can afford to do that at the moment. Maybe some big endgame moves off the top of my head. A10. Um, L1. L1 is big. It's L1 is huge actually. One, one, two, 4 points in reverse sente. But L7 isn't small, so I can't complain. Luka also loves complicated joseki. That helped. Yeah. So one way that Joseki does help you is if you are really prepared in Joseki, it will help you play faster in the early game, and that will help you conserve your time. So actually, in that flying knife fight, both um, like it's basically like Artem lost both on the clock and on the board because Luka was better prepared. Now you could ask yourself, if Artem is out of shape and hasn't studied the flying knife in a while, because he visibly hadn't based on what happened, then why did he do that? I don't know either. I wouldn't have done that if I were white. Like I wouldn't have gotten into the flying knife if I don't know it in a blitz game. So yeah, it's but Luka got rewarded for it. I mean, he played it well. And now, oh, funnily enough, A2 is Sente, which is funny. Basically, if black ignores, then white can Atari, 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 and kill. So that's something black has to take care of. Black does take care of it. The Koreans first learned the first 50 moves by heart. Yeah, so the thing is, when you say learn the first 50 moves by heart, in my opinion, it's very easy to avoid prepared variations in Go. You don't have to study Joseki. You really don't. Like, you're better off usually studying Sumego or practicing games and actually learning how to play the game. Um, Joseki studying is like, I don't know, it's like so dependent on the opponent also wanting to play Joseki with you. Like, when I got third place at the European Championship a couple of years ago, I was just playing double 4-5 and just ignoring other people's Josekis and playing short Josekis and just not engaging with other people's theory and studying. And it worked fine for me. And instead of studying Joseki, I just played the game. And I find it a lot more fun, but I also don't think it makes sense to study Joseki as a way to study. Like, it's the least efficient thing you could do. Yeah. Uh, Learn Joseki, bullies will throw your stones in the river. Well, I certainly will. Just playing the game, what kind of heresy? Yeah, I know, right? Incredible. Like, basically, to me, the flying knife is like playing a mini game that has very little to do with Go. And you spend 50 minutes, 50 moves of your precious Go game, right? Like, Go is so much fun, and you spend 50 moves of it playing theory stuff, memory. Anyway, rant over. Um, Actually, 15 years ago, the top 5 Czech guys had some kind of challenge to remember 50 pro games till move like 150. This is one of the reasons Jan Hora was so strong. Not because of Joseki, but to grasp the flow. So, Scourge, to be clear, I incredibly endorse looking at pro games, especially if you're like a higher dan player. And I think that studying pro games and early pro games and early middle games is completely fine. And indeed, it's because you need to understand the flow of the game. You need to understand what shapes work well together. Yeah, yeah. So, no, I didn't think you were disagreeing with me. It's a nice fact. I like that. So, would you say Joseki study can make the game feel contrived? Yes. But the worst part is, Black is, I would have updated you on the score. Black is chilling plus 12. Um, yeah. And yeah, so, sorry about that, but it's plus 12. And Black is completely chilling, no major endgame mistakes from either side. Black is, yeah, just going to drive it home, I think. Um, yeah, I think the problem uh, is I think Black has won every game so far, and it's pretty obvious because there's a black cat in that frame, and I think that gives Black a systemic advantage. Now, the cat's gone because Artem realized that it's a double agent. Um, so, talking about openings in Joseki, one of the things that I think is really weird is that in chess, one of the reasons that classical chess is maybe like a bit stale, some people don't like it, and people are looking into variants like chess 960 and whatever, um, is that the fact that chess is simple enough that whole board opening preparation is both feasible and advisable at a professional level just makes chess games feel contrived for the first 20 moves. It's just a theory contest. And in chess, you actually need to do that. You actually don't have a choice as a professional chess player. You have to study theory. In Go, you don't have to study theory. Go is not suffering from this fatal design flaw like chess is, but some players do it anyway, which is, I don't know, a choice. I ranted again. I can't stop myself. To be fair, the endgame isn't frightfully interesting because black is still plus 10. So this is super over. Um, yeah, actually, I don't even know what the cursed sword Joseki is, by the way, but it does sound like it would trigger me. And Taisha triggers me regularly. This is actually why I'm not a huge fan of the um, what is it? The ear reddening game, like the famous one, because it has a Taisha in it. Now, to be fair, back then, I'm not sure if people studied the Taisha and knew Joseki variations or if they just played it by feel. Could you put the capturing stones in? Um, I, it's hard for me to put it as a, yeah, it's hard for me to put it in the overlay. Maybe we can consider it for like a future stream. This game is over, yeah. So black has 6 captures and white has 4 captures. I can tell you. Um, the ear rending variation has a trap in the Taisha. Oh, I'm remembering that. I remember reading about it in the like book in Invincible. And this is the thing. This kind of like Joseki traps and things like that. I don't like them. So it's like when Invincible writes about that, I'm not interested. So yeah. But you can avoid the Taisha. Of course you can. You can avoid everything. It's Go. Black is still plus 9.4. So as the players conclude, I want to start slowly thinking about doing a retrospective on this game. And unfortunately, there's not that much to say about it, actually. I think that if we go back, Black used to be in a lot of trouble this game. Uh, Back when he had 2 weak groups floating like this. And I have some critiques, or maybe we can look in the future, like when the game properly finishes, about ways that White could have been more severe and attacked the black groups a little bit more efficiently. But another issue that White had is just that he got into this Taisha variation, clearly wasn't up to date or like in shape for it, and got completely blasted. And ever since then, Black kind of controlled the game because it wasn't just a game where Black is ahead, it's one where it's very hard to screw up. So, um, sometimes I'm enthusiastic about a pattern and I want to try to understand it, like the wedge in that one space high close Shimari. Yeah, I understand that, right? Like, I understand being interested in a Joseki, like nerding out about it. I don't understand playing it in a game. That's the distinction. I play the flying knife because I want to know it. Um, I'm wondering, do you want to know it just for your own edification or like to win tournament games? Just don't play the flying knife on Fox? Yep, I agree with that. So, I think that very difficult for Black to mess this one up. We're still ahead by 8.5. So Black has lost slowly some of his lead, but in general, he has been chilling. Uh, Luka has, you know what? I really appreciate something about Luka's play in this series so far, and it's that it's been pretty steady. Like in game 2, he had the catastrophic result where he gave Artem like 5 ponukis, but then he played like really solidly, really like clean go. Um, just, I mean, of course there were mistakes, but in general he kind of kept it level-headed and like managed to catch up. The game is over. Black has won by 8.5, so it's now 2-1 for Luka. So even though Luka has made mistakes this game, he has been so consistent. The match could have been over if he'd managed 1 point more. Yeah, for sure. So, and Bethole gets their internet points. So I think that there's something about the consistency and like just steadiness with which Luka has played, which is really nice. So there were moments where Artem got ahead, or like early games where Artem got a lead and was playing better, but Artem collapsed in some of the longer term things and was less consistent. And I think that consistency and some kind of level-headedness is very important in fast games. And I have no doubt that that's Luka's strength. So even though some of the games look dodgy at different points, he just played very consistently and very calmly, and also has been amazing with his time management. Very, very good. So that is very cool. Um, so let's do a very short review of this game as the players go on a break. So I think something went deeply wrong for Black here. Notably, Black was trying to play around in the center and like create some center framework, but he just got cut. And then additionally, instead of playing G14 and trying to survive this way, he made an even worse shape. So a jump allows White to destroy the Black shape. And I think that the mistakes of White are largely these. So first of all, as White, I would have seriously considered fighting in the center. And Black could cut, and he probably read that the two stones are dead. But I think that this is still a good variation for White because you get stronger on the outside. So this would have been a good way to like keep attacking Black. In the game, White eventually just jumped at G6 and just let Black chill and reinforce and just get strong. Um, and so this lost some of White's lead. And then the next major mistake from White was going into the flying knife without knowing it and just dying. And also dying in a bad way. So of course, there's some situations where dying with one half of this of these stones in the fight would be worth getting the framework, but not in this position and not in this way. So that was it. Luka played well after this. Luka actually played very solidly and just drove it home. So amazing consistency. From 100K to 250. That's what happens to you when you vote for a 3-dan professional against a 6-dan. So let me fix up the overlay again. So switch to Blitz. So I will slowly work on the overlay. I've got 450K channel points. Dear Lord. Uh, so let's see. So Luka has now moved to 2-1. And I think the voting was open. I didn't see the results, but I did notice that already for game 2, even though Luka is technically an amateur and Artem is one of the best European players, kind of like by far, Luka was getting a lot of support, and he has been showing that he deserves it in these fast time settings, especially. So for the next game, Luka is going to be White. White has been the color to lose with this tournament, not this tournament, this match. And let's see. The players still have to give me the link for their game. So uh, did we make a poll or not? If we didn't make a poll, I can try and make one. Uh, but I also need to figure out the overlay, so I would appreciate it if someone else did it. So this is our next game review. And Let's get you guys the AI board. The AI board doesn't give the score because we had a technical error that prevented me from showing it, or at least I haven't found a way to show it. And otherwise, you can still see what the favorite AI moves are in the lower right corner. All right. So now we have moved to the players having 2 minutes and 5 seconds per move. So it's even faster. So yeah, we have a game 4 prediction. You have 10 minutes to vote. Given that the game is so fast, you might actually win a lot of points by like simply waiting to vote. Wait, I had the time. The clocks are wrong. Yeah, 1 second. I need to fix the clocks for you guys. The players are actually going already. This is the game. And okay, that's the clocks. You should see it in a second. And they're still okay. They're playing Joseki, so that's all fine. Okay, so you guys should see the clocks in the right place. So Luka is 2-1. Will Luka manage to make it happen? Is everything fine with the overlay? Yep, everything's fine. The game is even so far, according to AI. Yeah, this is one of those Josekis that they probably know and I don't. So, predict. Okay, so people are rooting for game 5. Here we have no fans of anyone. We just want blood. We want game 5. It's interesting how people vote what they want instead of what will happen. So very solid start from both sides. Again, you see the kind of uh, like conservative nature of both players' early games. I think Black and Tanuki just fine, but I'm sure like some like extra jump wouldn't be offensive either. That would be completely good for both. Nothing wrong with it. And in fact, is that what Black did? Yes, that is. Black actually defended. I'm playing like Luka. Nice. Not Luka. Wait, it's Artem. I apologize. Artem is black this game. The colors are correct. So Artem played L4, which is what I said I would have played. And it's completely fine. The game is even. It says black +1, so that's even. And you have, yeah, exactly. So black is kind of threatening to build something like a framework here. White drops a group there. So long as the group doesn't get too weak, in general, having a group in your opponent's framework is fine. And also serves to reduce it. Oh, this is some Joseki stuff again. Obvious move is to cut. So in these types of Joseki, what white is trying to do is greed. Like basically white wants black to defend and just play like this. But of course, when white asks that question, black is always like, do you think I was born yesterday? And just cuts through. And that's how this fight starts, where black cuts through. White has 2 weak groups, but white also kind of like messing with black's corner and something will happen. And AI slightly prefers it for black. It says black +2.3. But I'm sure that, yeah, after white does the 2-space extension here, it will be completely fine for both sides. I think there's nothing wrong with this. And I think now black can consider, like, what approaches do I want to have to, like, A, build some synergy between these stones, but more importantly, attack these white stones. This is a question that black can ask himself. And Artem jumps, which is what I would have done. I would have jumped. Because you see, these stones are the weakest black stones left on the board, so it's very natural to strengthen them, also making A weaker. So I would care about the black stones, the black group, and about white stones as well. And I think this is a very reasonable way to do it. So far, the players haven't lost too much of their time because they started with 2 minutes anyway, because this tournament has murderous time settings. Um, is G18 more normal instead of F16? No. G18 is what white plays after black plays F16. So maybe that's how you mix them up. Black should not get himself cut around O12. Yeah, so Zaphodius, I agree with you. I think it's very reasonable for Black to not want to get cut through this line. Now, notice that um, I don't like this move. This is like second line slow. Getting cut would be annoying, but White's group would survive just fine. So I think this move is just a waste of time when White should be strengthening his group in the center. I would have played a move like just something in the center to just strengthen the group. For example, I think that White's losing his time, but the game is still +3 for Black, so not really much better. Prediction closing, apparently. Yes. Thank you, Scourge, for handling that. By the way, the reason that it's only staying at +3, because AI, for example, here gives Black +5. It's because it wants, like, I think it wants to play one Sente move over here, and then it wants to, like, attack the white stones on the top side. So I think both players are playing a little bit too, like, not agnostic, a little bit too not caring about the white weak group sitting in Black's influence. So it's kind of like this mini game of instead of actually attacking, and I don't know why Black wouldn't attack like this. This looks amazing. Black was like, man, I'm gonna like make even more influence, and before you know it, I'm really gonna attack you. Like really, really gonna attack you. And of course, when it gets this obvious, White defended. So I don't know. I think Black really lost a lot of time, and White also lost a lot of time. S9 doesn't make sense to me in any way. The idea of Q11 is to keep the black stones connected while also keeping the white stones cut. Like it would be really annoying if White gets to turn somehow and also cut off the black stones because suddenly the black stones becomes weak, which makes white stones stronger in turn. So I think this is incredibly sensible. I agree with that. Luka started caring, not Luka, Artem started caring about his Moyo and his group strength one move too late. So yeah, just wish he would have done it sooner before playing D13, which is a bit slow. Now Artem is starting to attack. So L12 is the type of move I want to see because Black is really strong, like really, really thick everywhere. Black has no weak groups. White has a weak group on the board, so Black should be pressuring it and taking its ice shape and really making White feel like the pain. And I actually think that White's L11 attachments just seems weird and off, and Black's cut at M11 just seems like the adequate punishment. So I think that Artem is off to a great start this game. Um, I think that, yeah. Wait, you're just gonna get cut? What's Luka doing? Oh, this is ugly. Okay. So the end result of this is something like after Black plays here and White plays here, technically White's sort of connecting to the right side, but in exchange, White paid a king's ransom. Black is in amazing shape, and they're still cutting shape issues. Like this is not like safe for White. So Artem is figuring out how to best continue attacking. I think that this turn could be pretty difficult to handle. If Black turns, like what do you actually do about it? White can capture the other, like the 5 black stones. It doesn't matter if Black takes the top side. So the turn would be super annoying. Like I don't really know what is going to be done about it. First, Artem plays O11, connecting his 5 stones. Why not? But next, I want to see N14 because I don't fully see how it's going to get answered. Basically, something like this could happen where Black is taking the top side. Alternatively, if White plays this one, Black can't cut because of the double Atari, but Black can still cut through this way. So basically, White doesn't have an option that doesn't involve him getting cut on the top side. So if black wants to, black can definitely choose to do that. Of course, white could, and AI is encouraging that white could cut, well, not cut, just block and allow himself to get cut. But then Luka would have to survive with this group inside and keep getting attacked, while black has already a strong shape. So that is risky is maybe like the wrong word for it. It's like, you're not going to lose because of it. You're probably not going to die, but it's just unpleasant and bad. And indeed, white is +4. Sorry, plus blah, blah, blah. Black is +5 points. So Artem is doing very well. Here, Artem chose the conservative option where he, instead of like, oh, okay. I thought he was just going to cut through and call it a day. Like, I thought he was just going to play something like this, and just take all the points. But he's actually saying, no, that's not big enough. I'm just going to take Sente now. Yeah, actually, if you are going to take Sente, I don't really agree with C11 because the white group is fine. It's has a big enough area to stay alive. And in my opinion, there are other moves that are bigger. Like, yeah, most other moves are bigger. Like this one, all bigger, but very slightly. I think it's fine. So Luka actually doesn't agree with Artem's assessment that the top side isn't very big and actually spends a move to connect up all of his stones. Now if black tries to push and cut, white can just connect everything back very nicely. But in fact, AI agrees with Artem that L16 is not very big and in fact gives now an advantage to black of 8 points. So black is pulling ahead according to AI. I think that L16 does feel a bit slow because it's only points. If it mattered for the strength of stones, I would feel differently about it. But because black is so strong on both sides with both of the groups, the white stones on the top are mostly cash. Not much more than that. Amazing what reading skills they have. Yeah, yeah. So, um, you know, I'm not sure if I like H10. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's connecting these stones up kind of solidly. If Artem thinks he's making points with the center, I hope he loses. But yeah, would definitely play at G3 instead of H3. Yeah, actually, I would also play. Um, L16 was biggest. The reason white dropped from before is the K12 Atari. Oh, sorry about that. Wait, what did I get wrong? Oh, okay, makes sense. Sorry about that. The next match is around the 4th of January, I think. So we're taking a 1 week break. Yeah, and that will be the quarterfinals. This is the last match of the round of 8. So I think that it says black +10, which seems a bit excessive. Like, the reason it's black +10 is something like because black is really strong, there's some invisible extra territory that black is going to make around here or something. But I wouldn't give black +10. It's still +10. Right now, white is just reducing the left side a bit in Sente. Black will play B7, and black stabilizes on the left side. White got a few Sente moves. I think S3 is starting to look really big. Yeah, exactly. So then they play S3. It's not set who we will play. Yeah, so we don't know who will be playing the first games of the quarterfinals, but we will figure it out. And it's 4th of January. Why isn't he making points in the center with those moves? I hope you're trying to trigger me because it's working. So, oh no, he's doing it again. Is this a mistake? Only a 2-point mistake. So, okay, the reason I'm going to give F7 a pass is that it's not just trying to make center points. It's also messing with white's shape. Like, it's sort of actually preparing to follow up with, forget the stuff that's going on the lower side for a second, something like this and cutting white off. So that makes sense. In the meanwhile, white is saying, well, these 3 stones aren't that big, so I'm actually going to cross-cut here and like ask you some questions. But to me, this looks like a catastrophe for black, actually. Sorry, for white. Like, it feels like Luka bit off way more than he can chew, and Artem can just call the bluff, capture with the G2, and now I think, yeah, this is just dying. I don't see these stones are just all dying, all of them. I don't see the point of this for white. Um, Notably, if white tries to go for this one and winning a liberty race, I'll just show everyone. Um, the problem with this now is that you have to protect your stones in the center, after which black will capture. So you don't have time to kill the stones on the lower side. So this fancy crosscut from Luka really didn't work out, and like Luka is just dying now. To be fair, both sides are really low on time, so maybe someone could screw up. But yeah. Um, Scorch is saying that it's close, but I don't really see how it's close. Like, yeah, exactly. This is just, yeah. Okay, so this is admission of defeat, M3. Um, Basically, the idea is that if white Ataris, you can connect, and you have the same problem. White has to spend a move to live, and then black kills. And in the game, Luka, white just chose to play M3, die with the 4 stones, and try and live on the lower side. But the problem with this is that this stone capture makes black incredibly strong and completely throws the sovereignty of this white corner into doubt. So black can Hane, black can even try the Sun and do some invasion. And, you know, even after white manages to survive somehow on the lower side, which he just did, to be fair, black is going to be able to punish on the lower left. And overall, this is just no fun for white. I think that this looks amazing for black. Uh, the number that the AI is giving that black is winning by is obscenely high. It's plus 38, good lord. So I'm surprised by that as well, because white should be able to live. Like, white is paying a king's ransom to live, but he will live. So I'm actually kind of surprised it goes up to plus 40. I mean, you know, dying with 4 stones like that does tend to lower your chances of winning, to be fair. So yeah, we are indeed maybe going to 5 games. This is looking really good for black. So even though white is living, note that white is going to have to live in Gote. So if white does nothing, black just plays here, here, take all of the eye shape, take all of the eye shape, white's dead. So actually white has to spend an extra move to live, just to add insult to injury. And then, you know, if black wants to, he can probably like do whatever, like cut here and just win by a million points. So yes, Luka is leading. So Luka is up 2-1. But Artem is currently uh, fighting back and is currently leading by 40 points. So I suspect that we're going to game 5, unless something really terrible happens. Um, I actually have some kind of awe that black isn't not black, that white isn't resigning after dying with everything like that. Um, yeah. So this is one of the things about these really like extreme time settings. Um, it's that the game can go out of control so quickly. Like, this game was fine for both sides, like kind of even, like black is a bit better, but who cares? And then in like, you know, you make a couple of decisions under time pressure and you just die with everything. Yeah, black made a lot of points in the center. This is incredibly over. Um, White likes to tire black out. I mean, maybe it's not going to work with a 43-point deficit. Um, so now we are end gaming. Man, it's hard to find a way that black will lose this game. This looks hard to lose. Looks like Artem is doing incredibly chill. Black always wins who has black in the last game. It switches, so Luka will have black. Emotionally, it must be very taxing to be so far behind. I don't mind it. It's fine. I mean, Luka's spirit is currently clearly unbroken. He's willing to die with another group, which I find admirable. Nigiri for the tournament life. No, I think they're just gonna swap. Uh, and it is true that black has won every single game. So white lives in the corner, but in exchange, black gets to capture these extra stones. So that's a pretty sweet deal for black. I don't think black minds. Oh man, if black's not sorry, if white's not careful, he's gonna die with these 5 as well. If black plays k6, I'm gonna suspect him of profound masochism. Okay, no. Yeah, so Scourge is mentioning that Artem is a Go professional in like many senses of the word. So he plays professionally, right, and competitively and all of that. But he also does another thing that is really cool for a professional Go player to do. He runs like a journal, like the European Go Journal, which covers Go events and provides Go content. And I think that's pretty cool. It's a long project. I think it's 4 years old at this point. According to the rule, it's Nigiri for the final game. Sorry about that. I missed that. Thank you for pointing that out. So we will get Nigiri. Wow. So we actually get Nigiri for the tournament live. I hope that Artem's cat is present for the Nigiri. I think that would be fitting. So it is now plus 50. So there we are. This is worse than the Sosos lottery. I don't know. The Sosos lottery sucks. Man, okay, I have to tell you guys a story while White is floundering. So I played in a tournament in Brno in the Czech Republic a couple of months ago. And in the last round, uh, I was tied at 4 wins with 4 other players at the top. And because of some of opponents' score tiebreakers, whether I would win the tournament was going to get decided by a 3-dan playing a 4-dan on board 7. And because these guys are slow players, they actually took so long to finish. They were the last people to finish in the entire tournament. And me and Mateusz Surma, who were the 2 people that could win the tournament based on the result of that game, were watching this tournament and like gouging our eyes out at the end game. Like, man, it was rough to watch. It wasn't just rough to watch because it's like this 3-dan plays endgame slightly better and you win 450 euros or something. It's more like just the quality of the endgame was hard to watch. Of course, I wouldn't mind if I weren't also like having money on the line. And to be honest, it's fun. Like it's just really funny. And then at the end, my guy lost by half a point. So that half pointer cost me like 400 and something euros. And it's all fun. It's just funny. So not to be outdone, Lukai's dying again. Is that correct? No, he's not dying again. He can barely live. Um, yeah, Lukan was safe second. Did you give him a free endgame lesson? No, I think I had this funny idea that he could pay me for 8 lessons, which is roughly what I like. Like he could pay me for like 8 lessons or something, and each lesson we could cover 2 of his endgame mistakes. But I did not offer that to him for some reason. So White's going to live on the top side, so this is a little sumego. White pushes through. Black could try and kill, but then White actually cuts. So Black connects, then White plays here, here, and here. So yeah, okay. So I think Lukan is the teacher of the guy who lost by half a point, and he's getting endgame lesson. That's very good. Vasquez sounds South American to me. There are a lot of Vasquez people in South America, but they originally come from Spain. More specifically, it's actually a Basque name. It comes from the Basque country originally. Which is funny because my entire family does not come from the Basque country, but originally it's a Basque country name. So yeah, we're now at plus 80 for black. So really going out with some fireworks. This is a funny idea. So black has to capture, yeah. This is a funny trick by white. If black had captured at p18, then white would play here, and then there's 2 liberties, and black can't play here because white captures. So actually, white would win the liberty race, Would it matter for who wins? No, but doesn't matter if black figured it out and now. Oh my god! Oh my god! This is black plus 100, by the way. Now, um, by the way, even though a white is trying to pretend that it's a liberty race, it isn't a liberty race because black can play here, threatening like if white connects here, black throws in and kills. If white protects, black just cuts here, so it's not even a liberty race. It's just like, yeah, over. Yeah, and white spent a move and black's still connecting. So it is now 96 points. Will these balls be available on the YouTube channel? Yes, the answer is yes. So white resigns mercifully. Um, Amazing. So what is there to say about this game? Good lord, I even forget how it happened that black got so far behind. Oh yeah, so this game had something really interesting going on in the early game where I feel like both sides really took their time to defend slash attack the white group on the top side. I don't understand how either player was thinking about this. Like, if black cuts here, white's shape is just destroyed. Like, I don't see what white does even. Do you extend and you play here? No, so I don't know what you do. So both sides took a very long time. Then white eventually stabilized his group. Um, and got a not terrible result, even though black was better. And then white's fancy crosscut got mega punished, like this fancy crosscut. Black just died with everything. So that's mostly the summary of the game. And then I complained about sus lotteries. I think that was it. So let's get into the next game. Yep. And now the players will have 1 minute each because we live in a civilized Go world where people get 1 minute. Don't worry, they have an increment of 4 seconds per move. So the players are on a short break. Let me figure it out. So we are now 2-2. I will update the overlay shortly. So we are moving on to a game 5 banger. I hope that it is a half pointer like game 2 and not a um, like easy win for one of the sides like this last game sort of was. So let me switch. Yeah, the time controls were nuts. I think it's meant to be nuts. I think that's half the point. Hold on. I'm almost. Figuring out the time settings. Wait, I have a question actually. Guys, did you do nigiri? Yeah, so they actually didn't do nigiri. Thank you for observing that. So we actually get to see what the nigiri result is in a short amount of time. Okay. So we will. Yeah. So who takes it home? Who wins game 5? Man, people are really supporting Artem now. Luka has lost his supporters. To be honest, after that last game, I would also vote for Artem. So let's see who has managed to. It's Artem that has black. Artem has won the mini game. So will black win? How black has won every single game so far? Well, we'll find out. Let's see. Let's get the AI board up. And yep, and that should be, the board is also correct. And the colors are not correct. So I think that everything is working just fine. Oh, except for the names. I'll fix that. I would rather stay quiet since the winner will be my next opponent. Oh, damn. I didn't know that. I mean, actually, yeah, I do. I checked it out. So Lukas Podpera, who was in chat, got into the quarterfinals, and he will play the winner of this game. So let's see. So we have Artem as black, and this is it. And start when you like. So here we go, game 5. Oh, wait, the black time isn't quite correct. I will fix that. The players start with 1 minute, to be clear. So we are not messing around here. Commenting this reasonably is going to be a challenge. Whew. Do you teach in Spain, IRL? I don't live in Spain. I live in Belgium. I teach IRL rarely. I sometimes go to Go tournaments as a teacher. I teach online mostly. Yeah. So I mean, Artem's internet connection going down would really suck in this game. So each player has a minute left. They have 4 seconds of increment, and I am going to lose my voice and my mind this game. So let's see if Luka keeps having good time management, because that's been his advantage, I would say, this game. This match. This is a Joseki, just everyone playing normally. You can really see people feeling the pressure of like just not having enough time. So yeah, this is just normal Joseki, I think. Yeah, completely even game according to AI. P7 looks like some BS Joseki preparation that Luka does for fun. And do the players know this? Probably, because Artem walked right into it. You know, if my opponent played P6, I would just like do a one space jump or something and just not care about the opening preparation. Instead, Artem walks right into uh, Luka's preparation, and now it's white +3. And I have no doubt that Luka knows this. Like, this is obviously a trick move, and Artem, like, this Ogema is obviously a trick move, and like Artem fell right into it. So he deserves what he got. Um, he played that against me in the pro quali, and I still have no idea what it is. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to know what, you don't have to have an idea of what it is. You can just play the one space jump. Like, it's just, yeah. I do think that Artem walking into Luka's preparation on purpose is, it's not costing him this game, right? Like, this is just a small advantage for white, like +2 now. But it's just this habit of like walking into your opponent's prep in Blitzgo is, I don't know, a choice. It's one of the choices of all time. We don't want one space jump, we want blood. I guess you do. But yeah, I don't know. I like good go. Maybe I'm not at the right place to have good go. I think I chose the wrong line of life and of location. So Black could just choose to be passive. Why not? AI is choosing Tanuki, which also sounds normal. I'd also play one space jump. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is, the thing where one of the problems with spectator sports is that the incentives of the players aren't the same as the spectators. The spectators want to see low gameplay quality that's fun in some way. or rather gameplay that is fun, and fun is sometimes orthogonal to quality, or even in the opposite direction to quality. But the players want to play well. So how do you fix it? You make them play with 1 minute and 4 second increment, and mystery solved. So let's see who wins game 5 and takes it home. I think Artem is down time, but what does it mean to be down time when you only have a 1 minute? I think that's almost meaningless. You're just always in time pressure, to be honest. Why do we not want to play line 5 turn 10? Uh, line 5 turn 10. Actually, like I have a hard time following line 5 turn 10. We have coordinates on the board if you want to share like variations and stuff. Do you travel as much as a pro? Yes, I travel a lot for all kinds of reasons. Um, so P7 was on line 5. Oh, I see. Um, uh, I think it's a fine move. It's just about Joseki preparation. Like, do you know it? Does your opponent know it? That's like the mini game that they're playing. The moves are fine. I expect black to do something like jump here. Why jump here? Because at the moment, after white has played h16, white is threatening potentially to just cut through in a really ugly way. Like, that's an option, right? So black just defends. And now white is likely a little bit worried about black having some options to cut this way. So white is very likely going to play an extra move around here. And we could imagine some variation like this. Black connects everything, maybe shoulder hits, and maybe white came as out, and life goes on for both sides. At the moment, white has played n12, as I suggested. Yeah, I think q11 is a very reasonable move because it connects A to B while also maybe making points, but the most important thing is that it's keeping the black stones connected. White turns at m12, which strengthens and also puts pressure on the black stones, and black responds. This is like very natural flow of play. Everyone's playing fine, and the game is back to even. Remember how after the Joseki on the lower right, white was slightly better. This is just even. Artem is down to 6 seconds, by the way. Rough. Um, Artem is maybe the most locked in I've ever seen a person. I hope so. Um, so yeah, so Artem stabilizes by cutting here at L12, and Luka keeps running with his group. I have to say, playing L10 is funny in this kind of time setting because it's kind of begging black to cut and see what happens. And if I had been Artem, I would have done it. I would have just cut without thinking because I feel like that's the nature of the game when you're playing with these time settings. I would just cut instinctively and go for it because the white group isn't so strong. I think the more principled approach would be something like peeping at A to make white play the dame for themselves. Um, L10 is very ballsy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, Lukai is just like, yeah, leaving a cutting point casually. Why not? Because it looks nicer. And here they've gone into a completely wild fight where basically Artem played this exchange with, not Artem, Luka played this exchange to then pincer, like play the clamp and be like, well, you can either connect on the side pathetically, but Artem resists and then white cuts through. So black has to live on the top left corner. Now you could think, why did black let himself get cut? It's because now this shape is really strong. So it's like white paid a price. And since black is living on the top left anyway, this is a pretty acceptable result for black. In fact, black is better. You have a bad feeling about this. My point, Luca. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. The thing is, when someone plays a move like this in such fast time settings, you sort of wonder if they're in their right mind, which you could ask about Luca. I wouldn't mind if you asked that. I think that would be a pretty reasonable thing to ask. Um, so yeah, but later Luca has played much better, I think. So for example, this move at K4, I really like because it's putting pressure on Black's group and keeping it weak. So I think that that's a good approach. Black settled the group in the center. And since black has settled a group in the center and is strong now, in my opinion, white should really be looking at strengthening his own group in the center. So something like N10 is like mega incoming, I think. And then both sides have kind of stabilized and gotten stronger. So both are playing very measured so far for the time settings. They're playing very careful. It's like in League of Legends, the casters have to talk nonstop for 5 times in the game around objectives. Yeah, I have to speak nonstop the entire time. What are you talking about? Um, so um, yeah, so in the end, in my opinion, okay, I think that black may have made a sort of mistake. I would have peeped here first and then cut. In the game, black cut white off, but gave white time to play N10, which gives white ice space. So that's like less strong. The game is completely even, by the way, mega even, 0.5 for white. And I think there maybe was a time where black was doing better. Is that true? No, okay, the game was just even the whole time. So what I'm saying is meaningless. Um, why are the players playing around here? It's because these black stones still have potential to get cut. So black is kind of like keeping an eye on them and trying to run out with them. So that's the idea. And that's why black is trying to push through and Artem is trying to find safety. I suspect cutting here would be interesting because it also allows white to cut you as well. Um, yeah, so very interesting that if black had cut at A, white could have cut at B. And that's really dangerous for black because the whole black group could get cut off sooner or later. So instead, black decided to play H9, fixing the cut in the center, but gives white time to like rip apart the black left side. So something went really, 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 really wrong for black, for Artem. Note that black isn't dead. Black is able to live, but if we go back briefly, this when black fails to connect and white just cuts everything, it's like black lives with 2 points in an area that used to be his territory. So black is an incredible amount of trouble. It says white plus 20. To be clear, I think black should have just done anything else. Cut here and like deal with the occupational hazard of being weak in the center. So back to the game. Um, Now black is trying to keep like everything together. So this one was weak, this one was weak, and black is trying to connect everything and just not die, right? Uh, yeah, I'm diamond, yeah. And actually black has succeeded because if white tries to push and cut, black can play the snapback. So in fact, black is connected with everything. He's just connected with a like stick, this like disgusting stick. And before black used to have points on the left side, and now it's just nothing. So white's doing incredibly well. This entire stick is still not like 100% alive and is still like a long-term liability. And white even gets sent out of this. So in fact, white did Tenuki, and I think Luka is doing well. To be clear, the lead for white is still only 15 points. So it's completely reasonable to think that there's a lot of hope for Artem in this game and that he might manage to recover it. 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Um, so I think he was reading out the Sumego and making sure he's not dead. But sorry, why isn't he dead? Locally, he's dead. So basically, the idea is that after white plays K13, I think Artem is probably looking to live like this on the side of the board. But of course, living like this is expensive because it gives white extra center moves, which will let white break into the top right corner. Wait, what happened? Ah, okay, okay. So white, in order to enclose these stones over here, white played the center move here, which gave black time to play the snapback. But this is still very good for white. So white is still a plus 10. Lukai is still doing well. And controlling the game in general, which is it's very impressive how controlled the players have played. So basically, Artem screwed up once, let white break into the side of the board, right? And yeah, after that, it's been really controlled and well played from both sides. Wait, what? What? The game is even. How? Tell me how. What happened? I don't get it. Okay, so the AI eval switched from from white plus a lot to even, from white plus 10. And I think the reason, yes, exactly, Tanguy is correct. So remember how earlier I was talking about white playing K13 and then getting a bunch of center moves to break into the top right corner. Luka missed the timing to get that, allowing black to play Q18, defend the corner, and um, that actually allows black to stabilize. And apparently that was the entire lead that white had. In fact, now Artem is up 5 points because just in the last sequence, this cut that white went for is complete dame. Remember, when this group of blacks used to be a liability, right? This cut would have been worth something, but not anymore. So white spent dame to cut while black made extra points. Now black is +5. I'll have to cancel the prediction. What a cheater. So in the meanwhile, Luka is actually playing P19 is a sneaky move because it's like doing endgame, but also preparing to awaken the Aji for trying to kill the black group, which makes a lot of sense. Um, like there's some trickery here that Artem's going to have to deal with. Um, Like, for example, Artem has to ask himself the question, can I block at S19? Because then I give white some sente move, which might kill me. So this is like really, really difficult for black to handle with so little time. I was trying to get you when you were going after the motions to finalize, I guess so. Um, so yeah, white actually got a nice endgame Tetsuji here, still using the Aji against the black stones on the top side to secure the corner. But black is still +4. So not so much was achieved here for white. Oh my God, 1 second. Did you see that? There's always a chance that yeah, always a chance that someone loses on time. So in endgame, Artem is leading by 4 points according to the AI to answer someone in chat. But both sides are playing on very little time. Artem has played with 1 second more than once. So I wonder if he will actually manage to figure it out and carry it out to win game 5. But he's actually managing so far. What's next? What's next? What's a good endgame move? And there is some funny endgame where like H19 is kind of annoying in the long term, but maybe not big enough to play. But we're running out of big moves to play, so was that necessary? Oh yeah, of course it was necessary. So the players were reading while I wasn't. So black actually could have killed white in the corner if white hadn't defended with R4. So black is still +4. Black is still doing well. Does white A4 not kill? White A4 does kill. Yeah, but you can't. Exactly. Yeah, you saw it. So yeah. So yeah, white played H19. This is still a little bit annoying because of the eyes of, well, not the eyes, the connection of the uh, black stones. Q16 is very nice because it both connects white on the first line and takes the R17 point. Still +4 for black. So actually, the players have done a pretty reasonably precise endgame with the exception of white's A and B. That really didn't work out for white, and this is how black got ahead. But both players have done really well and played a very stable endgame despite the like hellish time conditions, like that 4 second increment, and they're both out of time. This is one of the highest quality game 5 ever. Yeah. It's very impressive. Yeah, very, very impressive. So, I'm not surprised that Luka is playing good endgame, even with the time settings, because I know that he's a very good blitz player. Like, he just likes playing fast games, and I think he's good at it. Artem is surprising me because he's supposedly out of shape and usually plays like slow games and stuff like that. And here he's like completely holding his own. Like his game 1 was pretty bad. I think he was maybe a bit out of shape, but then he really got into it and he's playing very precise endgame for the time settings. Black is up by 3.5 now, so slightly lower than before, but it's hard to see how you're going to lose that lead. Now, considering that the players have 4 seconds per move, it's very plausible that they haven't had time to count. So maybe they're not actually aware of who is winning when it's this close. Like they might be, they might not be. Just visually to me, it looks like black is winning. Like black has more points. So the players probably think that black is winning, but you never know. So yeah, that was a nice series to watch. Don't count it out. They were playing on 1 second. It's one internet outage away from Lukas still winning. Though that would really suck as a way to finish. Um, that would really suck. It's hard to see how Luka is going to win on the board if Artem doesn't run out. I think Artem is doing really well. Still plus 4 points. You know, I have to say, remember how Artem won that game by half a point after he spent the entire game playing the ways that I didn't like? And I said I'm really salty. I'm still salty. Like, deep in my heart, I wish that White would win this game. I wish that Luka would win. Because of my opinionated like, I don't know, view, and how I feel strongly about it. But I mean, this game is just incredibly well played from both sides, so I can't be that mad. I have to say, it's really weird, but this game is better than several of the previous ones, and it's not particularly close. Still plus 4 for black. I think it's basically over. Short of running out of time. I think that this game is in it for Artem, and Artem will actually make it. So, man, what a banger. And what a nice game 5. Like, this is incredible. Like, such good gameplay for the time settings. These are very, very good blitz players. They have less times to make mistakes, no wonder. Well, if you want to think about it that way, I guess. Man. So yeah, I guess they're closing everything out, short of a mistake or something like that. It looks like Artem has it in the bag. Still plus 4 for Artem. Still winning. And that's going to be a surprisingly calm, collected, reasonable, like high quality game 5. I'm jinxing it so hard, but I mean, come on, it's dame by now. And black is up by plus 4.5. I want to really emphasize how incredibly good this end game was from both players. Like, after white made a blunder that gave black an advantage, the game stayed between plus 4 and plus 5 for black the entire way through. They played very precisely. Amazing performance from both. This format is much more exhausting than regular tournament games. Yeah. Incredible, incredible. Time settings are way too fast. Yeah. Oh my god, what a series. Good lord. Amazing series, guys. GG. If either of you wanna hop on to an interview to say hi to the stream, feel free, but you're prob tired. Up to you. I can show you a cat. Artem promises to show us a cat. So let's see. So Luka went. I think he wasn't expecting for it to last this long and had to go. So it is a win for Artem. Artem has won. So that's so Luka had to go. Congrats. So I think I'm not sure if Artem wants to come on to say hi, but he does want to show a cat. You can unmute yourself. Sorry, I thought it was finished. Oh, so Luka left and then was like, wait, it's not finished. So hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can everyone hear Artem? Yes, people can hear you.
Okay. Do you
And
want to
Luka?
see a cat?
Yes, I think we'd really love to see a cat.
Okay, so I have one cat that was around here. It's a black cat, and I have two more cats. I think one more is just here.
a cat man. Oh, hello. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, such a gorgeous cat. You know, we were mentioning the cat you were petting during the game is black, and black won every single game. So we were like talking about how the cat's a double agent and how he's making you lose. Um,
Yeah, that cat likes to climb on the table all the time.
so I have to apologize because I deleted Lukas' camera because I thought that you left, so I just deleted it. So people can't see you, but you are in the call. You are actually back. Congrats to Artem. How was the series for you, Luka? If you want to share.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that if I want to game 5, it would be so hard because I'm bad in Blitz.
You're bad in Blitz? Dude, you played amazing.
You played good.
Like, this series was really nice. And somehow the last game was so good. Specifically.
Oh, wow.
I thought you guys
I
played really
didn't
well.
think so, but okay.
I mean, of course, it's easy to feel bad about. Like, the thing is, you don't understand how bad game 5s are usually with these time settings, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was actually glazing both of you, like, the entire way. I thought you did really well. Yeah.
Yes, it was all the games were close. Well, almost all the games.
Yeah.
In one game, I died in Joseki. It was so bad.
Yeah, that was. I felt like you really weren't up to date with your flying knife, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that
I
was.
didn't know exactly what to do.
Yeah, that was quite tragic. And I felt in general, Lukas seemed a little bit better prepared for Joseki's. Have you been training, Artem?
No, not much.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks not to train. But I guess in particular, it felt like Artem, you were a bit out of shape in like the first couple of games, but like it really started to go well later. That's the impression that I got. Do you
Yes,
also
I
feel like
think
this?
so.
Yeah.
Yes, I never really played with this time control, so
There is Luka
I
again.
needed some time to warm up.
Yeah. Because we were wondering, like Artem is very, very good at slow time settings, but I've never seen you play Blitz, so that was a open question. And I know Luka plays Blitz sometimes. We've played a lot of Blitz together, in fact.
Yeah, but I still feel I'm bad.
Yeah, I don't think
I know
it's
people
true.
who are good, yes.
Yeah.
Can I use a moment for some short advertisement?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, I will send a link now to, you can forward it to, I guess there is a chat of everybody who is watching this. So this
Yeah.
is the
You sent it to me, so I
European
can.
Good Journal
Yeah,
is a
we already
project
talked
I'm
about it.
working
We
on.
already talked about it. So for people who weren't there,
Okay.
Artem is a professional in many senses of the word. So Artem competes, and plays very well and all of that. But he also runs the European Go Journal, which I'm very happy exists. Yes, we already discussed it, but for anyone who wasn't there,
Okay.
and you can go check
All
it out.
right.
Yeah, and it's already a very old project. Like it's 4 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, this was a really fun series for me to just cast. I was really impressed. The gameplay quality was so much higher than mine. And I don't know, is there anything you want to say or any questions you want to answer before we go off to the players?
If you want, I can open up some um, dramatic background of this series.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I am now in Ukraine, Kiev, and we have here, how is it called in English? Probably power cuts, like when they stop your electricity.
Yeah.
So we have a schedule of it, and today we had to have no. I learned this morning that today will be no power from 5 p.m. till
Oh.
till 8:30, and the
Oh.
game had to start at 6.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I prepared. I had 2 batteries for my laptop, and I set up here some light for you to see me. So I was playing with those 2 batteries, and I was looking at them running out. So this is why I had to restart my laptop sometimes to switch one battery to another. And then at the time when they returned the power, I had like 10 minutes left in my last battery.
Oh my god. I am so sorry about the delay that I caused.
No problem.
Damn, I'm glad you made it. That is, I'm glad you made it. And yeah, I mean, thanks for, I don't know, making it happen. Like a lot of work and a lot of planning. We were even mentioning how your lighting was really good. Somebody mentioned that early in the stream. So thanks for thinking of that and figuring it out. Sounds tough.
Thank you for running this stream, and thanks everyone for watching this. I think it was fun, not only for the players, but for all the observers, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Ashe.
I had a great time with it. Thank you for playing. Thank you for bringing such nice gameplay, especially Game 5. And check out Artem's journal, everyone. And congrats to Artem. You will get to see him in the quarterfinals.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Goodbye.
Whew. See ya.